Hello, everyone, and welcome to Ludi tonight here on Splatoon Tourney. I am joined by the wonderful Weef and Girlboss here tonight for a very special set.
The most special set, indeed. It is going to be Cherry Limeade versus Rabbit, and if anyone is not aware, this is going to be Cherry Limeade's last set as a team. They brought back their original roster and everything, and it's such an honor to be here for their last set.
Yeah, feels good to send it off. They've had one heck of a career, and they're going to go out hopefully with a bang. Up here in this Ludi set versus Rabbit, who is trying to get into the Div 1 playoffs. Div 1 is kind of all over the place right now. It's an open book for pretty much every team involved, so maybe Rabbit can get some score on the board and bolster their chances.
And it feels like we're probably going to be talking a lot about Cherry Limeade tonight, but that's because they, it's a really big send-off for them, and it really cannot be overstated how much of an impact they've had on the competitive scene, at least in terms of popularity. They're one of the most popular teams. I know a few people who aren't really into the competitive scene, but they know two teams. They know Chara's team, they know Last Resort, and they know Cherry Limeade. So it's, like I said, such an honor, and I send them a toast. I made some.
Yeah, spam those 07s.
Indeed. But yeah, they haven't had too great of a record here in Ludi. So far they are 0-4, but they're a team that they're really good sports about losing. Really great mental from all of them. You can tell that they just have so much fun playing the game. So I'm sure that no matter what the outcome is tonight, everyone's gonna go out feeling really good. They brought back their original roster and everything.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm sure they're here to just have a good time. And I mean, I guess to get a little bit personal, I got the chance to meet Cherry Limeade when I went to LTC this past May, and they're all just so lovely, such nice people. They were all so happy when I said I was a fan of them. So, they're just such kind and genuine and nice people. So, I mean, I wish the best for them all going forth, but that being said, with all the celebrations, semantics out the way, we should get on to this actual best of 9 Ludi set we have here tonight between Cherry Limeade and Rabbit.
Indeed. So we are going to be starting out here on Splat Zones, and in general, I don't know, I love commentating these Ludi sets, and it's just extra special to be here tonight.
Yeah, it has a whole new meaning. We're starting right here on Zones Inkblot. Zones is a classic, Inkblot's a classic, not necessarily together, but here on Ludi, we see it all the time.
Oh, of course. These Ludi set, the weird maps that they have to come out so you're not playing the same 5 map modes over and over again. What do you think that these players are going to bring out here tonight? Not just Cherry Limeade, but Rabbit as well. I know we've been getting the spotlight to them.
To be honest, I haven't been following Rabbit that much recently. I'm pretty sure they still have Adapt, who's a really good Slasher player. But I feel like we're in Div 1, so we're very likely to see a good amount of... We're going to see a good amount of Zukas on both sides.
Of course, as is the meta as of late. I haven't been too active in commentating and in playing lately, partially because of the Zukas, but I really haven't felt the full force of it, is what I'm saying.
Alright, we should be getting into this first guy shortly.
Yeah.
Oh!
Oh. This is a replay. I'm not quite sure, but we do see a reflex on the field, which is not something that I expected. Well,
we're seeing them play it down. It looks like we're going on to Clamless Crab Leg for real this time. Pika pulling out that reflex. A weapon true to my heart. Always love to see it played at such a high level, and Pika is not going to disappoint. But we're also seeing the CDS come out on the side of Rabbit, which is not something I expected whatsoever.
Rabbit immediately going 2 down. I believe Kuro is known for playing those dualies there, but going 2 down and going into a 3rd player down, which does give Cherry Limeade a great advantage. They've already got 15 clams on the board, plenty of time. We see Lily over there on that junior with a ball at the ready. Specials going out all over the place, meaning that this is going to be a fantastic, very explosive first push for Cherry Limeade.
Yeah, getting 2 power clams right into the basket right off the bat. 57 points on the board for them. That basket probably going to close pretty soon, but the ball playing gets a few more clams in there. Krim is going to go down. It's just going to be Pika and Lily here trying to hold down the board, trying to not to lose too much map control, but it looks like that score is going to be staying at 51.
Indeed, but what a great first push. We are only a minute in, and now the players of Cherry Lemon are starting to go down themselves. I believe the Reflex went down, and so did the 52, so they're starting to get a tiny bit staggered. Rabbit is getting back on their feet exceptionally quickly. Cooler going out, and that Zuka, I'm sure, is going to follow close behind to take them back into a neutral state, and potentially, if they play these things right, catapult them right back into an advantage.
Yeah, but two go down on the side of Cherry Limeade and one is down on the side of Rabbit. They do have the numbers advantage. That Machine is going to be jumping back in with half Zuka. A third goes down, and that's going to be a delayed wipe on Cherry Limeade as Rabbit gets their first score of the game here. Getting some power claims, but not nearly as many as Cherry Limeade had. But now they have a good amount of control. Two down on Cherry Limeade. They have the opportunity to swim back, get some more claims. They don't quite have enough for the lead yet, but they're definitely making it close. Adapters has to throw that flash flame in, and there we go. Lead goes over to Rabbit.
Like a game of tennis, it's going to go back and forth here. They're going to continue on this push. They are going to go two down, but I believe that's Aaron who was able to get those last few picks in, last few clams, catapulting them all the way to 32 points, which is absolutely a great push, considering this is, once again, we're really early into the game. And that was one single push. They managed to get 70 points off of that one push. And so seeing how Cherry Limeade responds to this is going to be interesting. They did get a full wipeout, which allowed them to take mid back really fast. And we've been just generally seeing really fast play this game.
Yeah, absolutely. We are seeing the Junior holding on to the power clam, gets a pick with the bomb, and gets another pick on the Machine. That's going to be Cherry Limeade scoring once again, but they don't have a whole lot of support from the rest of the team there. That Gal's going to be swimming in, trying to provide as much assistance as possible. Two down on either side, and Cherry Limeade is just trying to fight on the enemy plat, but they don't have a whole lot of clams to their name. That basket is rapidly starting to close, but they have the pity clam at the ready. They're going to jump it toward the basket, I believe, trying to get it in there, but they don't quite get it.
Not quite, so not as good of a push as I'm sure they were hoping, but they did manage to break through that penalty and keep getting points on the board. Now they're really close to getting that lead back. All they need is one more good push, but Rabbit here, they're really fast and taking these advantages back in their favor, and so they're moving back into mid already. Not going to make it easy for Cherry Limeade to close that out. Already the cooler is going up, and all these specials are going out as well, but they are two down. Cherry Limeade is doing a really good job at maintaining this control, and they have plenty of clams to their name. Lily over here with the bubble and that's power climb, gonna be trying to force their way in, setting up the bubble in that corner, so they have a really good jump spot. That's a very impressive bubble spot.
Yeah, incredibly intelligent bubble spot, and now Cherry Limeade threatening to get the lead back in their own territory, and that's gonna do it. Lead switch happening once again in their favor, and they're still getting more claims in the basket. Down now at 15 points, 2 versus 4, favoring Rabbit as Cherry Limeade forced to disperse, but Krim gets a nice pick onto Koro there, and that's gonna just keep their chances alive a little bit longer, keep them a little bit more mid control as Rabbit tries to reestablish control of mid and try to get the match swinging back in their favor.
They do pop that cooler once again, trying to sail full force into back into mid here. They do have enough clams to get a potential push off, but once again they have to make it there. And Cherry Limeade has proven pretty good at maintaining that mid control, not allowing them to move all that far past. They have not been able to make a push since that initial one, and now the clock is ticking. 50 seconds left on the board, plus the potential overtime, and they are starting to get the picks that they need. They have so many clams to their name. It's just that matter of getting that control back.
Yeah, 40 seconds now left of the normal timer, 20 seconds of overtime, almost surely guaranteed, but the missiles find the pick onto the NZ player. It's this huge pick to get, but Rabbit slowly building up their clam economy. They have 2 power clams that they can possibly use, including that pity that could be jumped in at pretty much any moment. Pika's trying to threaten this top left area with a reflex, but goes down to the squeezer player, Aaron, trying to set up shop up here on the top, trying to get that vertical advantage here. Ancient is going to be popped by Cherry Limeade to try and contest the squeezer, but another power clam making its way over to Rabbit's basket and gets in.
That is going to really disorient Rabbit in these last crucial seconds. That does put Cherry Limeade at a numbers advantage, but they actually, Rabbit here is pretty far back, and so it looks like they really have their work cut out for them, and if they're going to try to make this last push. 20 seconds left and ticking rapidly. All members up, specials on the board, 2 members of Cherry Limeade down, which does pave a way for them to push it through, and they have so many claims in them. It's going to be a score over here, and with only the ballpoint left alive on the side of Cherry Limeade, it's going to be Rabbit taking game 1 in an exceptional show.
Yeah, an explosive overtime push to seal the deal. Rabbit takes game 1 by 1 point, but I mean, it was just a crazy overtime push at the very end. Cherry Limeade, I mean, they were able to break their formation, but they also gave Rabbit an extra pity clam that, I mean, I didn't quite see if that came into play at the very end, but giving the enemy more resources in overtime clamlets is always scary.
Can I just say that is the peak of Clan Blitz games. It was aggressive. It wasn't stally. People pushed in. It was back and forth the entire game, and that's exactly what I was hoping out of the set tonight. So I'm super, super excited to see how the rest of the set goes. I hope they're all this close. I hope we make it to a Game 9 because that would be so fantastic.
I mean, what a way to send off Cherry Lyman in a Game 9, but they are already putting on an impressive showing. Down 0-1 versus Rabbit, of course, but they kept it close all throughout. All players were playing absolutely exceptionally, so I'm excited to see all that the set has to offer, even if we are going to be going on to Umami Zones here on Game 2.
Well, from the sounds of that, it sounds like you have some opinions you'd like to share about this specific map mode.
I mean, I don't know if I would per se like to share them. I feel like everyone has some opinions on this map mode, and I feel like not all of them are positive.
It's a middling map mode. It's not my favorite, it's not my least favorite. Hi Phoenix, my bird is speaking. It's just generally, it's interesting. All the double map modes are, zones map modes, it has the 2 zones. They're all interesting, they all have different levels of play, where it's like, it's so weird. But this is probably my favorite of them all. I believe like the divider in the middle makes it pretty interesting to play around. If this map had a good spawn and like a flank route, it would be one of my favorites, but it doesn't, so here we are.
Yeah, I mean, here we kind of are. It is unfortunately just a bit of a straight line path, but we saw in that last game how well both of these teams are able to fight, even in spite of limited resources, even in spite of awkward map terrain on Crab Lake, which normally Crab Lake Clamblitz is like kind of stally, but both teams are able to break through each other just fine, so I'm expecting to see more of the same as we head into Game 2, even on Umami Zones.
It's unstoppable force versus unstoppable force here.
Essentially. Gonna get right into it here in Game 2 on Zones Umami, Cherry Lime versus Rapid.
We're gonna see, I think, a good zones pick, and Rabbit is opting for a very, very aggressive comp, opting to take out just no backline, full force ahead. We'll see how that interacts with the 2 long-range weapons on the side of Cherry Lime.
Yeah, I mean, Aaron's still rocking that Squeezer, which is absolutely, a great long-range presence, but 2 on Cherry Lime go down immediately, 1 on Rabbit goes down immediately. Ballpoint's going to fall on Cherry Lime as well, and that's going to force Krim to just try and run away as much as they can. They do get swarmed by 3 of Rabbit, though, and that's going to be a delayed wipe on Cherry Lime in the first team fight, and Rabbit quickly seizing control of the map.
Cherry Lime knows what they need to do, though. We see over here this Neo Splash is going to be going ahead and charging her strikes right out of the gate, unfortunately going down and allowing the timer to tick on a little bit faster, but they knew that they had to get their specials, and although it's only the Ballpoint who I believe just blocked back the spawn, they do still have plenty of time on the timer, so they do know that they can take their time, be patient, and make a good impact instead of just throwing yourself at the enemy. And so we'll see how they respond here as they just continue to get a little bit staggered, but once again, they have plenty of time left.
Well, that time is rapidly ticking down, but 2 on Rabbit are down. Cherry Lime does have the chance to regroup a little bit here, but 25 timer ticks left on the zone. Strikes are going to make their way onto the zone, but the Neo Splash is going to go down very quickly. 2 down on either side. This is a massive team fight. Cherry Lime needs it if they want to stay in the game. Krim is 1v1 to the death, gets the trade, but 3 go down on Rabbit. Cherry Lime is able to secure the zone right at the end.
The painting ability of that Blobber really saved them there. Pika over there was able to fully capture that zone by themselves. And although Aaron is going to be immediately, is going to be immediately able to get some picks and get another wipeout, they did buy themselves a lot of time to be able to make another comeback like that if they really are able to play well.
Yeah, about a good 45 seconds of penalty here before they are in danger of losing this game, but they cannot take their foot off the gas whatsoever. Cherry Lime still has to fight their way back into it, and Rabbit is content to just keep this lockout going as much as possible. Strikes and Zuka are still available for them here. Strikes are going to be paused in face of the Whale and the opposing strikes, but the zone is still going to be neutralized. Adapt finds one, but goes down himself. Krim battling into the zone, gets a nice double, trying to get the triple, goes down instead though, but that gives Cherry Lime the chance to move forward. Weak force retreat, and Cherry Lime recaptures the zones.
That 50-point penalty is assigned to Rabbit, but they still have a good amount of map control. Cherry Lime is not able to get in their spawn quite yet, but we see Pika here setting up, trying to wall them out as the Blobbers do best. But they're still, a good amount of time that Cherry Lime has to hold for. And when 2 Zukas are staring them down on the face of this control, it's going to be really difficult for them. Already, I believe that Zuka got 2, and the pressure is still there. They're going to be able to move onto the right zone, and 2 members down in Cherry Lime means that's very difficult, but so many specials are flying out. They are doing a really good job at, despite being in numbers advantage, just maintaining control here, and they're rapidly approaching that lead.
Yeah, I mean, Pika on this vlog has been putting in a lot of work, just staying alive and being just a constant painting presence, and now the numbers are even on both sides. Cherry Lime could win this fight, and they're really close to getting the lead back into their favor. 3 down. Rabbit, one's going to respawn. Striker's going to come out on the zones. Adapt trying to paint it all by themselves, but we do see that Lily keep the cap of the zone with the ball point. We're below 40 points. We're super close to the lead switching out either side, and Cherry Lyman is going to take the lead, just barely trying to hold on as they're threatening a KO.
They are threatening it, but there is a chance that Rabbit could still take this back and stall the game even further. But they are going to be able to continue to keep on painting. These weapons on Cherry Lyman's side are such good painters. You have the blob. They're all able to stall the zone completely by themselves, and that is going to lead to a KO here from the side of Cherry Lyman. In a game that started out not so great for them, but they were able to turn that around right fast.
Yeah, Cherry Lyman did a fantastic job of bouncing back. You know, after that game 1 where they just barely lost in overtime, and in game 2 where things were not going quite their way, they got a nice bout of control there for a very long time. I believe they were like in the high 80s with some penalty, and they were just able to take it all the way down to a knockout versus Rabbit, who was just trying to fight their way back.
That's what good mental will do, yeah. If you're able to keep your calm, it's just you can just take things back from the brink there, and that's what makes the set so exciting. We've seen 2 games that have gone down where one team has been like really not looking great at the beginning and then just flipped it right back around, and that's just so fun. I want to note on the Blob Bobber there, it was so fun watching Pika there just completely hold a zone on their own, just on that one side. That's the power of Umami. Yeah, it's a pretty good map for it, it seems. We are moving on to Tower Control Hagglefish. Sorry, my bad.
All good, all good. It's been a while. We're good. But yeah, I mean, as you were saying, Blob is super good on Umami. Just a ton of terrain, just a ton of high ground, and a ton of value from that paint. So good job to Cherry Lyman for making the most of that. And now we will see how they take advantage of their comp as we move on to Game 3, Tower Control on Hagglefish Markets.
Indeed. What are your opinions here? I started off really liking this map when the game first came out, and then my opinion on Tower Control just went down and down and down.
Really? Because I don't know. I agree with you that I'm not the biggest fan of Tower Control as a mode, but I think it works pretty well on Hagglefish just because there's a good amount of places for defense, and the flanks have, you know, a good amount of value. They're pretty easily accessible by both teams and pretty easy to use, and they're good to use on push and on defense as well. So I do quite like this map. I do think it can be pretty snowbally after that second checkpoint, but that's just Tower Control sometimes. Yeah,
that's an unavoidable fact of Tower Control. you can't change that. It's just how it is. Which is unfortunate because I don't know, I feel like, in my opinion, it's just the other 3 modes right now are so fun and so good to play, and then you have Tower Control. The snowball is so real.
Yeah, I mean, it's inevitability. We have it in Game 3, we have it again in Game 7, should we get that far. And I mean, based on the pace of the set, it's looking like we're definitely going to make it to at least Game 7, if not even further beyond. So I would look forward to that in our future, but in our near future, it's going to be Game 3 right now. TC Haggle, Cherry Lyman versus Rabbit. 1-1 is the score. Close set. It's going to be one to watch as it progresses.
We're going to see no more Blobber, which is unfortunate, depending on your perspective, but we are going to see the return of the Duelist Fletchers. Vanilla this time for that Wave Breaker, and let's see how these teams start out as a fight. Notable that instead of the Blobber, they're pulling out the Neo Machine.
Yeah, and this whole set, we've been talking about Cherry Lyman being, you know, very fast in these fights, but they've been doing all that without a tactical in any of the games, I believe. It's definitely not in Games 2 and 3. And they've been making it work, already up 4 versus 1, gets a full wipeout on the first push in the first 20 seconds, and they're quickly making their way towards that first checkpoint, and they have all specials online. Driven popping that whale in the enemy spawn, and these strikers can come out. That is almost assuredly going to be that first checkpoint breaking.
Yeah, for sure, and the snowball is just going to start to roll here, unless they can get some really crucial picks, which it looks like Rabbit is going to start to get a little bit staggered here. 2 down, 1 player jumping out. The second checkpoint is all but gone, and now like I said, the snowball starts rolling, and it's just getting bigger and bigger and bigger here. 2 members of Cherry Lyman down, but they're just going to continue riding that tower, getting as many points as they can, and they do get a wipeout for it, but I think a wipeout is a fair trade for getting all the way to 22.
Yeah, Rabbit finally gets their bearings, but it took them 2 checkpoints as it cost them. But in response, look at how much map control is painted in their color. Squeezer's going to go down early, though. That's a massive deal. They're losing that Zuka. The DS are going to go down as well. 3 versus 2 in favor of Cherry Lyman, and they are fighting back, getting a good amount of control in mid, popping that Zuka, forcing Adapt to jump away to a different teammate. And now Rabbit is kind of disorganized right now. They have to regroup, trying to use that Booyah Bomb to do just that. Meanwhile, Cherry Lyman continues to push forward.
Yeah, it's gonna be looking like Cherry Lyman is gonna be going 3 down. Inkjet is gonna be popped off, and the Neo Machine is gonna respond right in time. However, it's still Rabbit is gonna take a good amount of control over here, as just Cherry Lyman just keeps on pushing in. nothing is really stopping them in this set, really.
Well, I mean, what might be stopping them is that numbers advantage in favor of Rabbit. 2 of Cherry Limeade go down pretty quickly, and Rabbit still has a good amount of time on the clock to get a push going. Machine goes down early, that's not great. Wavebreaker is going to be paused, but the dueling weapons go down to the enemy Machine. Pika, proving this weapon switch is still advantageous, trying to make something happen on the left side. It goes down to the enemy Machine finally, but able to stall a bit of time. But in that meantime, Cherry Limeade is going to go 2 down, another's going to jump out, and Rabbit has a good chance to push here, and they're going to try and make the most of it.
Yeah, rapidly approaching that first checkpoint here, or should I say rapidly approaching that first checkpoint. They have the specials to keep this going, and that Booyah Bomb is going to be pretty good during this push. But the Tri-Strikes force them off the tower, and Cherry Limeade once it again takes control of it, using a lot of specials, using those Tri-Strikes, using that Inkjet, and now they have the Zuka out there, which does get taken out by the enemy Zuka and the Whale to really just push things further. But they don't really make much of it here, as Rabbit still has control of mid, and the 52 over here, Krim, is going to be put into a pretty awkward spot where they are going to get picked off. We're going to be seeing Rabbit really take mid back again as they attempt to push a second time.
Yeah, I mean, Cherry Limeade, once again, they've just been doing such a good job exerting pressure in these fights, even without Tactical. I mean, they're taking a while to respawn, but just the pressure they're exerting makes Rabbit so scared to move forward, even if they have the map control. Koro, though, is going to find a pick onto Krim with the help of his teammates, and is going to start to move forward. Wavebreaker is at the ready, as is the Zuka on the Squeezer, and the Booyah Bomb on the Machine. Rabbit has the special, they have the means to do it. They're going to make their way toward that first checkpoint. Strikes are going to stall them out a little bit, giving Cherry Limeade some time, but Neo Machine goes down pretty early. Inkjet is going to be popped, trying to find a pick on this tower, but Squeak is trying to stay alive, and it's going to break that first checkpoint here for Rabbit.
Yeah, well, now that they're moving forward, this is where things start to get very dicey for Cherry Limeade, especially since they don't have any special on the board. The Neo Machine gets picked off, really starting to look hairy for them. Krim is going to go over here, get a nice pick, but just special is going to continue to be thrown at them, and the lead is looking really close to Rabbit's grasp here. If they don't get something going soon, Cherry Limeade is going to be in a tough spot here, but the Machine going to keep on getting those picks on the tower, going to force them off. Zuka just trying to get up any pick that it can, but it looks like Rabbit is finally starting to be pushed out by Cherry Limeade.
Yeah, Pika was just doing such a good job just spamming AoE at that tower and was able to just barely react to that Zuka and get out of the way and survive. And that really just stifled Rabbit's push there. Another 1-for-1 trade happens on the left side here, and Cherry Limeade still has the lead. Rabbit has another checkpoint to shoot through if they want to get it, and only 40 seconds of regular time to get there. This looks like it might have to be an overtime victory, and Rabbit just trying to build up all the resources possible, but Cherry Limeade is going to try to stop them. Strikes are at the ready here for them, and they definitely have some other specials coming soon. 30 seconds of regular time left. This is probably going to be a close one, but 2 go down on Rabbit very early. This is not what they need right now.
Yeah, Cherry Limeade is not one to sit back on their heels. They're going to be proactive. They're going to move forward and try to take out any of the players of Rabbit and just really ruin their chances of a push as soon as they can. They're not going to wait for them to come to their base. Now, it looks like we're going to see a little bit of a strike here as Krim over here tries to get some picks on the 52 gal, just continuing to disrupt their forces, getting a nice pick, going for a trade, which is just going to continue to disrupt them. Those Tri-Strikes have been held by for a long time. It looks like Cherry Limeade is going to take their second game in this set, settling the score to 2-1.
Cherry Limeade, I mean, I feel like there were some doubts, they've been 0-4 in this losing season, but Cherry Limeade is absolutely a strong team, a force to be reckoned with, and they are showing it absolutely brilliantly here, up 2-1 versus Rabbit in the game count, and they are just doing all they can. They're trying to go out with a bang.
Indeed. This is their original roster. This isn't the roster I believe that they've been playing Ludi with, so that could have something to do with it. But also, just it's the Limer magic, man. This has been a great set to watch. Even then, where Rabbit wasn't really able to get their feet under them, there's still that really good push at the very end, and I'm super excited to see how this continues on going.
Yeah, and I think we did say some words that might not have been heard by the stream at the beginning, but just to quickly recap, this is going to be Cherry Limeade's final set, very unfortunately, but I mean, they've put on one heck of a show in their 2 years of being a team, and us Limers, we still got a whole lot of spirit in us, so we're just going to be rooting for them. Everyone is here just have a great time. Cherry Limeade trying to go out as strong as possible and just trying to leave a strong impact, and that's what they've been doing the whole time they've been a team.
The opposite of strong, though, is this map mode. Rainmaker Sturgeon, that's an interesting one.
Ooh, we got some spicy takes, and by spicy, I mean generally accepted.
Yeah, lukewarm takes here.
Lukewarm.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's one of the most Rainmaker maps of all time. I think I don't know. The checkpoints definitely helped it, but also some of the fun was taken out because those pushes that you could get before were really fun.
I feel like the checkpoints help and hurt because that left checkpoint is really annoying because like the wall doesn't drop and it takes a long time to drop once you break it. So it just stalls at your push, and that wall also makes it awkward to attack the players that are trying to push for the checkpoint. It's just a really weird like ebb and flow kind of thing that I don't know. It's kind of awkward to play out no matter which side you're on. But
Society, if that wall, Society, if that wall were down all the time, it'd be so much better.
That's what I've been saying. But unfortunately, society has to be flawed. I guess it's for personal growth.
This is so sad. But regardless, we are moving right on into it. And although I am although I'm not super excited for this map mode particularly, I'm very excited to see how these teams play. This is the hyper aggression that we've been seeing on Rainmaker. We're going to see the Tri-Slashers come out from both sides.
Yeah, we're going to see the V-Tri coming out on both sides. Which, I mean, I guess has been popping a little bit more because people don't want to be using that 200p N-Tri, so I guess it makes sense. And Lily's going to be going back onto that N-Zap to give some tactical support to Cherry Lime. You know, they got to get some drinks in. It's what they're named after.
Indeed, but they are going to go 2 down, unfortunately, with members of Rabid rapidly moving, and I keep making that joke, it's not that good, and immediately getting a checkpoint less than 20 seconds into the game. Cherry Lime is still on the back foot here with 2 players down, and that bridge is lowering pretty fast, so they need to get something going for them in order to not get pushed really, really hard here.
Yeah, Lily's going to be popping some Cherry Lime for their team. Hydrate, not Dihydrate. But Rabbit's going to re-grab the Rainmaker, get it down to 35, get a few more points on the board, and that's going to make it even harder for Cherry Lime to retake the lead. That bridge is, that wall is going to be falling for Rabbit there, which is a bit of an advantage, but that push is going to be stuck by them. Cherry Lime is just trying to hold on to this Rainmaker as much as possible, and they're trying to make some progress, but it just doesn't feel safe to drop, especially when there's a Zuka in your face that you can't react to getting a nice pick on that Rainmaker.
It is even on the field, and Cherry Lemon is going to be doing their best to really push Rabbit out of mid, which they are doing a pretty good job of. Tri-Slasher engaging with the dualies over there, trying to take that snipe, not going to be able to quite do it and falling off just a little bit, but really just good control from them to start trying to launch themselves into a push, but it's going to be kind of hard with how awkward that Rainmaker is placed right now.
Yeah, I mean, Pika, though, is going to be trying to get some picks with this Inkjet. Pika's been playing a different weapon all 4 of these games, and I mean, that is just Pika things at this point. Gets a nice pick with that. I mean, yeah, it's a classic, and now Cherry Lemon regain control of this Rainmaker, but they're just not feeling safe to push up. 3v2, though, favoring Cherry Lime. Rainmaker finally starting to move forward. They are going to be pushing court side. Tri-Slasher goes down, but Azuka gets 2 by the checkpoint. Beautiful Zuka there from Aaron at the very last second to prevent that checkpoint from falling, and now Pika's in no man's land, gets taken down, and that is going to be that push ending from Cherry Limeade.
3 members down, only that ballpoint left alive, who is, I believe, all the way across the field. Not looking good for them, and the ballpoint gets picked off as well. So Rabbit just can sit back, take their time, and paint up, and be ready to get another good push off. Soda going out, not quite Cherry Limeade flavored apparently, but we are going to be seeing Pete, once again, trying to move in, trying to get that flank, but not quite accomplishing much, as it looks like they're beginning to really start to struggle here, not able to get any footing of their own.
Yeah, I mean, things are rapidly getting from bad to worse here for Cherry Limeade. Rabbit regaining control of this Rainmaker, pushing in so quickly into Cherry Limeade's territory as Cherry Limeade's numbers are dwindling here. Pika gets taken down from behind by Koro here on these Dually Spelters. Inkjet is going to be supporting the Rainmaker. Koro gets the pick on the Crim, and this Rainmaker scoring points once again, now down to 26, and there's just a zap left for Cherry Limeade. Rabbit's going to repop the Rainmaker and try to get even more points on the board.
It's going to be a miracle for Cherry Lemon to have to come back from those all the way down to 17 points. 2 minutes left on the board. It's going to be really rough. Lily going to be over here picking out Koro, which I believe is one of the last members. But we do see the Tri-Slasher strike behind them. Do they know?
Do they know? Oh no, is this awareness check going to happen? Pika gets taken down, I believe, from behind. Oh, I think the Tri-Slasher is safely out of their territory, but Cherry Limeade in a very awkward spot, forced to move forward, and they don't get any points off of it. Crim fighting for their life right here in the court area, trying to move up into winter, tries to get a pick, gets 1 on the Squeak. Rainmaker is going to get paused, but the Tri-Slashers from behind, they didn't know it, and it takes them out for it.
Unfortunate, but they are really still pushing full steam ahead. They are going to break through that checkpoint, which is going to allow them to just push further on. They have the inkjet that they need to be able to really start getting another push going, and they have the numbers as well, but it's going to be a really hard time getting, like I said, all the way down to 17 points. That's a very tough little stretch to get through because there's you're surrounded by high ground, and now that is only the ballpoint left alive and the ballpoint goes down. It looks like this push is all but over.
Yeah, that delayed wipe is going to seal that push. Cherry Limeade realistically only has 1 more push opportunity, and they have to spend the next minute trying to find it. I mean, on that defense, Adapt is going really crazy with that toxic miss, making it so hard for the Rainmaker to get any progress. And Rabbit definitely has that, you know, tool in their arsenal as we enter the final push opportunity. Lily, though, is going to get taken out on front line. That's not good for Cherry Limeade. That's going to be their cooler supply being extinct. And that's 35 seconds left on this clock. Cherry Limeade still has to regain map control and then control the Rainmaker.
Yeah, and it's just, they do have 2 members down. They are starting to get Rabbit pretty staggered here. But as you'll see, we have the Zuka, but no longer. Actually, this is going to get the ball rolling for Cherry Limeade. But once again, the clock is ticking. They have to keep going, and they have to do it fast as well, because that timer, once it hits overtime, is going to start really looking rough. And as Adapt gets the crucial pick on one of the last members of Limeade, it looks like all of the members of Cherry Limeade are down and out of the zone of the Rainmaker, which is going to result in Rabbit making the score even 2-2.
Such a back and forth set so far. 2 games each. In the 4 games so far, both these teams are playing so incredibly well around their own tools and against their enemies' tools. Rabbit just had an absolute dominant showing that game, getting the lead for pretty much the word go and never letting go of it from there.
They did, yeah. Cherry Limeade had a really valiant push there near the end, but not quite enough to take the lead back in their favor. And it looked like there was a little bit of panic there at the end, but yeah, it really is getting harder and harder to predict the outcome of this set, which I am super excited about. Because we are basically, what are we guaranteed up to at this point? We're guaranteed up to game 7, right?
I mean, I believe so, yeah. 2-2. The worst the set is going to end in is a 5-2, which would be up to game 7. But I mean, these teams are not letting up against each other. They've just been playing absolutely phenomenally this entire time. I mean, they're both their entire careers. They're Div 1 teams. They're just incredibly strong players all around, and they are putting on one heck of a show for all of us. One heck of a show for Shallow there in the back.
Hi, Shallow. Anyway, she was playing Proving Grounds in my bathroom. Kicked out. Regardless. Yeah, I don't know. I lost my words.
Next map, I think I start playing with Scorch Gorge, which I have.
I'm an enjoyer. I'm a claimless Scorch Gorge apologist, if you will.
You were also a backline player, so that makes sense.
Irrelevant.
It seems pretty relevant, you know, as the frontline player in this call. Pretty relevant. I'm not the biggest fan of this map, some might say.
I think you just have bad opinions. I think that made us see what's going on here. Okay. What are your issues with the map?
I just feel like there is it's such a long neutral play. Both these teams are you're usually just locked in complete neutral for a very long time until you just break through the enemy ramp. The ramp is just such a focused, like, centralizing choke point. It's a bigger deal for me in Rainmaker, obviously, because it's much more explosive, but that ramp is really, like, just make or break here. So it'll be interesting to see how both these teams just try to force through the other defenses as they've been doing this entire set. Here we go, game 5 in this best of 9 series between Cherry Limeade and Rabbit. Score is 2-2. Let's get right into it.
96, that's 96 Deco. That is certainly one you don't see too often, but I haven't even been hearing talk of Kraken trees and clams recently.
Yeah, I believe it was Moonlight that just, you know, did a lot of Kraken cheese and clamlets, and I mean, just proving that 96 Deco is an incredibly strong weapon in this meta, in the clamless meta specifically, and Rabbit is going to try and take advantage of it, replacing their squeezer with it. They say, we don't need that extra Zuko, we just want that Kraken cheese as much as possible, trying to break through a map that is so hard to break through.
Speaking of Kraken as well, I believe we see Pika once again playing a different weapon there on the Blob Deco, who is going to go down, but mid is still really relatively contested here. Nobody has a clear foothold, and it's really anyone's game at this point.
Yeah, I mean, Cherry Limeade, they're running Kraken, Vac, Whale, and Bubble. They want to move you out of the way, and they want to set up their own shop and just protect their own teammates as they move forward. That is sort of their goal. They just want to move forward as a unit. But speaking of a unit, here comes that Kraken from Aaron, getting 2 nice picks, and that's going to be Cherry Limeade going 3 down. Krim is the last member, gets 2, gets 3 for their troubles. But okay. Cherry Limeade getting wiped out, and Squeak is going to be the last survivor, just trying to get as much plants and paint on the map as possible here for Rabbit.
They may have gone down, but they stopped a potentially disastrous push single-handedly, which is super awesome to see. Cooler is going to go down along with... Well, there's a little bit of lag there. along on our side, along with I don't know, where looks like the defense is stalling just a little bit.
Just a little bit. Two go down on the side of Rabbit, though. Cherry Limeade is going to start making their way towards that basket. Bubbler is at the ready, and it's going to be set up under the basket as Cherry Limeade first to break through, gets that clam in there, trying to get some more points into the basket right now, trying to get that score up, but Rabbit quickly going to push them out of the way. Trim goes down on the enemy ramp, and that is going to seal that push for Cherry Limeade there at, I believe, 68.
Pretty good first push, all things considered. It has been a little bit of a stalling match here. Big fight to mid, but you'll also notice that both of these teams' comps are tailor-made to break through that really big choke point that we were talking about. Looks like Rabbit is doing just that right now. 2 members down on the side of Cherry Limeade, but Rabbit also goes 2 down. So Cherry Limeade doing a really good job here on defense. Lily at the front line there, trying to hold them back as they just keep on jumping in. I believe they were cooler buffed here, so really kind of zombies they're facing right now, but specials are going to be going out, which looks like Rabbit is going to be forced to break their way in, already making it down to 60 points, and I believe we'll see a clam jump here, sending all of them all the way to 40.
I don't know if you saw, but both those Krakens were just jumping around each other on the little hump there. Pika just trying to get whatever picks possible, but regardless, Rabbit gets it down to 40 points in just their first push. 2.5 minutes remaining on the clock. Plenty of time for Cherry Limeade to break through once again, especially given their comp, but a good amount of pressure is put on them. They have to get a substantial push here if they want to get a decisive lead here. Rabbit definitely has the means to push by their own, but here comes that back. That's going to assure another score here for Cherry Limeade, and more camps are going to reach that basket. They're trying to go for that lead, and they're so close to getting it, but they aren't there quite yet.
Back broke them through, Bubble held them in, but it isn't going to be quite enough as they are losing the control fast and they don't quite have enough clams. Lily's going to be trying to break through as fast as they can, but I don't believe, actually it was enough.
Yeah, Peak was able to sneak a clam in right as their Kraken ended, and that was able to get the lead down to 37, but only 1 clam increment. That means Rabbit still has the opportunity to blow the door wide open, and they're already in enemy territory. All of them are up, and they have 3 specials at the ready. Here come the strikes, here come the Kraken. Duka is sure to follow to keep this hold as much as possible, and now they're just trying to make that clam go all the way to the basket. But that just ramp is so hard to deal with. Clam carrier goes down twice, and that clam is now further away than it was before, and that means Rabbit is going to be forced to retreat a little bit. Cherry Limeade is still trying to hold onto this ramp as best as possible.
Cherry Limeade ran headfirst into Rabbit as they were approaching, which did hold them back a little bit. They did go down for their troubles though, meaning that it really was kind of a stalemate as Cherry Limeade isn't able to gain too much, but they are starting to really push back Rabbit. They are, really approaching mid here as Pika is going to be moving left on those grates, and the rest of the team is going to be trying to go right, just trying to really solidify this. They are going to end up jumping up onto plat and scoring. There they go.
Oh, but Rabbit scores first, and that's going to Cherry Limeade score. Another power play, that's going to be the lead, going back into the hands of Rabbit. A just tiny amount of time between Shiny making that power come to that basket and Rabbit getting their own in, and now they're threatening a knockout. 9 points left on the board, and Rabbit has so much control in this area. That blunder just completely threw Cherry Limeade's formation, and now it's just Lily Almas Jr. left alive, and yeah, that basket's going to close, but it's going to open again very shortly, and 2 power plants is going to be the knockout here for Rabbit, and they are quickly building up for it.
Yeah, it's looking very rough for Cherry Limeade. They have to scrape themselves together really, really fast in order to take this back. To even get out of their spawn and past that, it's going to be a major challenge, especially as the specials are bombarding them. They are going to be able to jump that power climb in, I believe, with a Kraken, and that's going to mark the game, going to Rabbit, evening it out 3-2. Wow. Yeah,
just the eternal seesaw happening right now. Both these teams just at each other's necks, but I mean, the critical moment was just that one tiny just difference of a few seconds, a few frames even, going in favor of Rabbit, and that just completely threw Cherry Limeade for a loop. They were forced to they had to quickly just come together in just the final seconds of the match, and it just was not quite enough with all the pressure Rabbit was exerting there at the end with all their specials, with all that Kraken, and just that final Kraken jump to seal the deal.
That was certainly a game. Like, I couldn't even tell what was going on, and at the end you just saw that Cherry Limeade got so disoriented that they just kind of threw themselves at Rabbit as they're continuing that push. They just feel like from a viewer's perspective that they just kind of didn't know what to do there, which I wouldn't either, to be honest.
I mean, yeah, it's just utter. You're so sure that you're going to score, and then you just don't, and you're like, what do I do? And it's just that little bit of panic just caused complete pandemonium, and Cherry Limeade wasn't quite able to recover. But now is their chance to sort of regroup, to get themselves back together, get themselves recompose. As we head into Game 6, Rabbit off a small 2-game winning streak, Cherry Limeade, I'm sure they would love to stuff that momentum however possible, even if it's going to be on Zone's Brine Water.
Ugh. I don't think anyone on either of these two teams plays Charger, if I'm correct, which should make this a little bit more interesting. I hope.
Yeah, I mean, we've been seeing all flavors of ballpoint from Shiny throughout the set, but I don't think Rabbit's been playing any backlash, just mostly relying on the long range of Aaron playing either that Squeezer or that 96 Deco in that last game.
The real question is Pika going to keep up the streak of playing a different weapon every game?
I'm kind of rooting for it. We're 5 for 5. I would love to be 6 for 6. Ideally on an entirely different weapon and not just a separate kit, as with that Blob Deco. But I mean, with Cherry Limeade, on one hand you can't really know where they're going, but on the other hand, that 52 gal and that ballpoint has been pretty constant for them, and it's been putting them in a lot of work throughout the set. It's mostly just been it's been literally just selecting on different kinds of supports, and obviously Pika doing Pika things as they so often do.
Yeah, I'm definitely betting on the ballpoints coming out here. Unless any of them have like a pocket charger or something. I mean, if you have one, this is where you pull it out. Pocket e-liter, whatever. Cool, even a pencil. I don't know if any of these guys say pencil, but that'd be a pretty good option here. But yeah, This is gonna be... Seeing how the set has gone so far, I'm like genuinely really interested in how this is gonna go.
I know, we're on game 6, and I don't know. This is probably gonna go at least to a game 8, if not a game 9. I'm just excited to see what's going to happen.
Praying for a game 9. Game 9.
Game 9.
Oh, there's
Shiny does have the pencil, as you were mentioning, and Pika's going to be playing the 96 Deco, I believe, keeping the streak alive.
What a absolute legend here, but also speaking of legend, that's a weird segue. Zekofin out here on the side of Rabid, so we are gonna just see once again some different weapons. Each set, or each game brings something new with this set, as Rabid here is gonna take the first advantage. 2 members of Cherry Limeade down, and the hold is still gonna go. Pika here on zone, really just surviving somehow, maintaining that life, and allowing for their teammates to get in as the enemy is distracted.
Yeah, and now Shiny able to supply some of that delicious Cherry Limeade for their teammates as they try to, move forth. But right now, the zone is just flip-flopping either kind of way. Now in control, Cherry Limeade is probably going to change in 5 seconds, knowing, just how this map's been playing. 4 versus 3 advantage here for Cherry Limeade. They do get the lead, but it's a small lead at the very least. Very little specials are at the play. Whale going to get popped. Zuka going to get popped. Crim's going to go down, though, as we do see another Zuka at the ready for Rabid, as Cherry Limeade is going to be going 2 down here. Rabid's probably going to take the zone right back.
Yeah, it's going to be not a super difficult lead to take back, but if they get a hold in, Rabid is just going to be able to just keep on going, and they're trying to forge their way in with that, never mind, that's actually Pika going in with that Kraken. And so, yeah, Cherry Limeade maintaining the control, keeping on going in, and just making it difficult for Rabid to even try to think about getting their zone back.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Cherry Limeade has good control of the zone, and now Crim is starting to move up onto the enemy ramp with the pre-fire from Shiny. But Shiny's going to go down, so is Pika with that 96 Deco. 2 down on Cherry Limeade, and Crim's going to go down as well. Delayed 3 go down, and that's going to be Rabid regaining control of the zone, trying to push forward once again. Cherry Limeade still has that pain pressure.
Yeah, for sure. And there they go. They're going to keep on approaching that lead. 70 points, only a few ticks left until they regain it, but Cherry Limeade's still contesting. That is going to be the lead being swapped there. However, we're going to keep on seeing how this is going, as Cherry Limeade is 2 down right now, and there's a lot of room for Rabid to keep on pushing, keep on moving in to their plat, and potentially make a really good lockout here.
Yeah, Adaptive's a great flanking, gets 2 picks for their troubles, and it's going to delay that cooler response from Shiny there. 40 points left on the zone, and Rabid definitely threatening a knockout here. Cherry Limeade has to move fast, but with purpose. They are going to get the capsule with help of Lily's bubble there. But Rabid is still contesting the zone, is going to get the zone back into their favor, and Cherry Limeade still kind of locked out onto their path. They're not really able to move. Lily's going to go down pretty early. Zach's going to go down on the side of Rabid, though. Both these teams just fighting for any bit of control they can possibly get. Pika with the Kraken is going to put the Charger to jump back to spawn. Pika's going to jump off the ledge as well. It's just utter pandemonium on all parts of the map right now.
Cherry Limeade fully through their penalty, keep on wrecking chaos up in here as Pika does what Pika does best and is just surviving. The double gal on the team is really just giving them a lot of staying power, and as 3 members go down, I'm guessing this lockout is going to be especially potent here as they are really approaching, taking their lead back as is so rightfully theirs, or in their view at least. And so there they go, keep on continuing in, but Rabid is fully respawned. They have the Zuka, they have those Tri-Strikes, they're going to do whatever they can to try to get the zone back, but they're contesting doing it, and it's not really quite making a difference. Cherry Limeade's still ticking down, 10 ticks left on the timer, only a few seconds left, and Rabbit finally is able to contest the zone, but will it be enough?
They have to get the cap here. 7 points left on the zone, and Cherry Limeade re-gets the cap. 3 dead on Rabbit. It's not going to be enough. Sweet can't do it alone. They get wiped out, and Cherry Limeade, once again, it ties the set count 3-3, taking game 6.
So now we're going to a game 8, I believe, right?
Now we're going to the game 8.
All we need is one more.
All we need is one more.
Yeah, oh my god.
This is a Ludi set for the ages.
This is genuinely one of the closest Ludi sets I have ever seen.
This is so incredibly back and forth. Neither team can get a solid leg up over the other. It's just been so incredibly close this entire time. Girl Stream reveal there a little bit. And my goodness, what a set from both these teams so far. That double gal from Cherry Limeade really came in handy there.
Yeah, that was an interesting one, and that's really what has been so fun about this set, is every time there's a different comp. I don't think Rabbit has run the same comp twice, or at least not exactly the same Cherry Limeade, as we know, as Pika is going to continue the streak, hopefully. Do you think they have 9 weapons that they can confidently play here that'll fit?
Absolutely.
I really hope so.
I wouldn't be surprised to see a Swig Express come out for game 9. Alright,
that would be so awesome. Goodbye, Shallow.
Goodbye, Shallow. Back to the Proving Grounds dimension.
I don't know about that one, but you know what the saddest thing is?
What? What's the saddest thing?
I'm out of Cherry Limeade.
No! And after the set, the Splatoon community is gonna be out of Cherry Limeade.
Pour one out.
Pour one out for the boys. for the boys, the girls, all the folks in the community.
Yeah.
All the days, absolutely.
Alright, so next map, Ship-Shaped Tower. I feel like I've played this one like at maximum 5 times. I don't think I've played it any more than that. I don't think I've ever casted it.
Yeah,
What's it like?
Ship-Shaped TC is an interesting one. I personally like it. I enjoy playing on it. I feel like that's a bit of a controversial view, but I could just be mistaken. It is kind of weird because both the checkpoints are pretty big bottlenecks, but the points in between the checkpoints are kind of free in a sense. So it's pretty easy to get, a good amount of points like from that 70 range to that 30 range, but those 2 checkpoints are really easy to defend for the defending team. So it can be kind of hard to get a push started, but that neutral play is...
Oh, no!
No, the streak at 6!
However, the different comps are going to continue to be ran as we do see the V-Blaster pulled out from the side of Rabbit. This set is so much fun.
I mean, hey, Adapt has been adapting true to their name. I mean, playing all kinds of weapons, all kinds of buckets, and now a Blaster, which is the strangest bucket I've ever seen, are going to go down pretty early, though. Cherry Limeade trying to push for their advantage as much as possible. Krim just being so aggressive on this right side, has Whale after ready, and it's just going to immediately pop it, trying to get all of Rabbit away from the tower, and that is going to be a successful, opening team fight for Cherry Limeade.
Yeah, they haven't backed down at all. Full force ahead. Not slowing down a second as they already just, you said full force ahead, steaming in to this first checkpoint here. Just continuing to go on. And throughout the entire time we were watching, I believe, Krim over there, I don't think they slowed down even once.
Yeah, but Adapt is going to slow down Cherry Limeade. He's going to be hitting that click button, and it's going to get a nice quad and going to get that wipeout on Cherry Limeade as Adapt is going to move forward, spearheading the push here for Rabbit, popping that big bubble in a very awkward spot for Cherry Limeade to deal with. Going to be forcing, their stalled response to the tower, but here comes the Tri-Strike to deal with the bubble, deal with the members of Rabbit, and just try and get Cherry Limeade back into the thick of it as Rabbit approaches that first checkpoint.
Yeah, and it looks like, really threatening how far Cherry Limeade got. Cherry Limeade's still getting picked off. Only that ballpoint has been alive this entire time, it seems. And so they do have their inkjet ready pretty soon here, but they do need to really execute it flawlessly in order to really stop this push that did take away their lead. They are starting to flush them out using that inkjet, like I said, and picks are starting to go out. Space starting to be taken. 3 down on the side of Rabbit. That leads right into a wipeout. And we know these teams. Cherry Limeade is going to push up as far as they can and all let go.
Yeah, Krim gets a beautiful double there to just really seal the deal for Rabbit. And now Cherry Limeade has their turn in the driver's seat, but they have to be stalled at the stoplight that is this checkpoint for just a little bit. Tri-Strikes are going to be coming out from Lily here, just trying to, stall the defense from Rabbit as much as possible. Enough for Cherry Limeade to break this first checkpoint, and they're going to do exactly that. And they're close to getting this lead back into their hands, and that's going to be the lead transfer going in favor of Cherry Limeade. More points are going to be on the board, and Rabbit scrambling to set up for defense here as Cherry Limeade quickly approaches that second checkpoint.
Bombs being thrown, ink jets out on the field. It looks like they are, Cherry Limeade is going to be stopped for a second as they are approaching areas that Rabbit is controlling a little bit more intensely, but they still have that control. They're still riding the tower. 23 points on the board, about halfway through that checkpoint. It's not looking good for Rabbit. They are trying to get that defense on lock though, but like I said, Crim never slowing down, never dying it seems, never backing out, and so continuing on, Cherry Limeade's push is going to be what's happening here.
Yeah, Cherry Limeade is going to get another chance at the second checkpoint here. 23 points, and it seems like it's going to be going down even more. Second checkpoint is going to fall. That is huge for Cherry Limeade. Probably not going to be a knockout, though. Yeah, that is going to be them getting wiped out, but getting it down all the way to 10 with 2 minutes left on the clock. Rabbit has their work cut out for them if they want to get that lead back into their favor. And I mean, we've just seen how just absolutely monstrous both of these teams have been on offense and on defense. And Cherry Limeade going to try and set themselves up for success here. One goes down on either side, though. 3 down to Cherry Limeade, though, and lickety split. And that's going to be Rabbit pushing further ahead. 2 specials at the ready, being the Bubbler and the Zuka. And that could spell disaster for Cherry Limeade here as the tower continues to move forward.
Yeah, Limeade wiping out in exchange for getting all the way to 10 points was great, but it did set up Rabbit for a excellent push here. Adapti here being so annoying under these ledges with that blaster. Exactly what they want to do. That's the highest compliment you can give somebody doing that. But yeah, it looks like they're going to continue here. They're going to break through the checkpoint. They're going to keep getting the picks on Cherry Limeade. And although those tri-checks do slow them down, it looks like they were so close to getting that lead. And
yeah, both those checkpoints are falling. The push is still happening for Rabbit, though. That's going to be one dying by the tower. It's going to be Crim. 3 on either side. 2 go down on Cherry Limeade. Rabbit has all the tools they need. Cora's going to be fighting for the line. Gets the pig. And that's going to be Aaron riding the tower for that lead. And we're getting to knockout territory. And that is going to be Rabbit getting the knockout up 4-3 and threatening game points.
God, what just happened there? We saw that push go back, like, it was such a will they, won't they thing. Cherry Limeade got the advantage, and then Rabbit just jumped back in, and then Cherry Limeade got picks again, and they just jumped back in over and over again until Rabbit finally broke through that glass full force and got that knockout, putting them in the advantage. They only need one more game to win, but I believe that sets us up for a potential game 9. I can't do math.
I mean, if Rabbit were to win this game, this next game on Rainmaker Manta, it would end the set 5-3 in favor of Rabbit here. But Cherry Limeade is not going to take that line down. They're going to try and go the full distance, the full 9 games, and they're going to try and get their first win of the Ludi season here. Trying to just do whatever possible, go with as much of a show as possible. I mean, they've been putting on one heck of a show this entire set, so I'm just looking forward to see whatever Game 8 offers here on Rainmaker Manta.
Yeah, I don't particularly care who wins this set. I mean, obviously it'd be sweet for Cherry Limeade to win, but Rabbit deserves it just as much. But I just want to go to a Game 9. That's my final wish, my dying wish.
I mean, we've maybe Cherry Limeade's final wish, or dying wish. I don't know. But I mean, we've already made it this far. We might as well go the full distance, the full 9 games. But both of these teams are absolutely phenomenal. I mean, I love watching both of these teams play. Like I said, I haven't gotten to see the most of them recently, but just watching this set, I hope everyone in the audience is as big of a fan of these teams as I am, because it has just been non-stop action here in this entire set, and that is just the story of these teams in the history they've been playing this game. So I'm just looking forward to even more of it.
Yeah, 2 absolutely iconic teams face to face. Like I said earlier in the stream, Unstoppable Force versus Unstoppable Force. Whenever you see these 2 teams play, as soon as they get an advantage, they push it to its max. It's like they're stretching a rubber band right before it snaps. They're seeing the absolute limit of how far they can take control, and they do it, and it's so fun to watch how fast they can do it. And Pika really feeling comfortable on that 96 deco, gonna stop the streak even further, but we're gonna see Rabbit pick up a 96 deco as well.
Yeah, Pika's starting a new streak. How many games in a row they can play the same weapon? We're now up to 3. I'm mostly gonna get up to 4, but here we go. Rainmaker Manta is gonna be set point here for Rabbit. In this opening, we'll see what is going to happen, and what's going to happen is going to be Shiny going down quickly, and Rabbit is going to be winning that pop, popping and cracking very early and running it straight right for that first checkpoint.
Yeah, and that's going to be an explosive first push here, as really leaving the other team reeling, trying to see how they can do it. Stuck in a corner here is that 52, who is going to get taken off, and it's just Rabbit is going to continue on forging on, really confident after last game win to keep on pushing on. They're going to make that drop, which is so important, and it looks like they did get wiped out for their troubles, but they did not leave Cherry Limeade with easy work to do.
Yeah, 22 points off the bat, but the thing about Rainmaker Manta Maria is that the only safe push is a knockout push, because it becomes downright black belly after that first checkpoint. I'm just going to say it. Here comes that Kraken coming in, gets a pick on the Squeak. Pika doing a great job with this Kraken, so comfortable on the special, and Cherry Limeade going to be breaking that first checkpoint themselves, and that's going to be 2 deaths on the side of Rabid. They're going to be trying to respawn, trying to regroup as much as possible, but the duelist whip is going to go down so quickly. Pika is running in full force, gets 2 picks, trying to set up the wall, trying to support the drop coming out from Cherry Limeade, trying to hit the floor, they get the lead, going for the
oh my god! Oh, that could have been legendary, and it still was pushed to 1. This leaves the funniest possible thing to happen ever, in my opinion, if Rabbit was able to take this back, which is certainly in the cards. You can see how fast the tides turn on this map as Rabbit resets that Rainmaker and gets 3 down on the side of Cherry Limeade. Only that ballpoint left alive to desperately hold on to any scrap of control Cherry Limeade does have, but Rabbit has some specials at the ready, or at least they did before their Tri-Slasher went down, and Cherry Limeade, though, is really starting to recuperate, getting themselves all set up in a good formation to stop Rabbit in their tracks and at least give them a good fight for mid.
All the insanity that's been going on has just been in the first 2 minutes of this game. There's 3 minutes left to go, potentially, assuming no team goes for that knockout, and at this point, Rabbit has to get that knockout if they want to win this game, and if they want to win this set 5-3. Cherry Limeade trying to do whatever possible to take it to a game 9, just trying to get as much time on the screen before their time is up, and they're going to regrab that Rainmaker, try and make it over to that pedestal, trying to get that knockout once again. Rainmaker,
no way! No! Oh my god!
They're not able to get the knockout the second time. Kraken's going to be popped behind them, and that push is probably going to end once again. Rabbit able to stuff it out.
Yeah, that's insane. But they... Oh, no way. They won it so bad. You know they won it so bad.
Absolute insanity, and once again, Cherry Limeade falling back on the ballpoint, all jumping back in, and they barely lost any mid-control for their trouble, but here comes Koro on the enemy bunker.
I can't even focus on the game anymore after what just happened. Jet gonna be popping out here on the left side, trying to snuff out one Lily over there, and looking for a second pick, doesn't quite get it. Rainmaker is reset into mid. Rabbit has about a minute and a half to make their last stand here. As Cherry Limeade still has a good defensive hold here. Kraken is gonna go out to try to disrupt that a little bit, but picks going out, things being disrupted. 2 members down on the side of Rabbit, and Rainmaker being picked up, who is most likely gonna go down here in a little bit, as Cherry Limeade has a pretty good grasp on mid. Inkjet going out trying to take out that Rainmaker as fast as possible, but it certainly is doing a good job at spiting me and giving me commentator's curse.
Yeah, absolutely. Rainmaker is going to get taken out. We are back in some neutral play. Only a minute 20 left of this match in regular time. Rainmaker going to be re-grabbed by Shiny, but they get taken out by the bomb as they try to grab the soda. Being placing it in the perfect spot, whether they knew it or not. And that's going to be just a minute left on the clock. Both these teams battling for mid-control. Trade happens en masse. Krim is going to be trying to fight forward as much as possible, trying to take advantage of the numbers advantage Cherry Limeade has, but for a fleeting moment.
Yeah, and looks like they have a really good hold here. Adapt's gonna jump in and immediately get taken out. It looks like they're gonna full suit ahead, and they have fourth try is the charm, as they say here. Potentially going on with this push as they're just continuing getting the pushes out. The Koro pops that Wavebreaker, but is it gonna stop Cherry Limeade at all? That's a full wipeout.
That's a wipeout.
No way.
Not gonna be it.
No way.
Fourth time is the charm. Potentially the Kraken can't block it, bro. The 4th time is still not enough. Rabbit will not get knocked out, even at the brink of death. But there's 20 seconds left. They have to grab the Rainmaker and just have to do whatever possible. But Cherry Limeade not going to let them go free. Krim is still putting on so much pressure. They finally go down, but 2 on either side still up. Rabbit is in dire straits for this game. It's looking like a game 9 is likely.
But it's not over quite yet. They do have this overtime, and they're not super set up for it. They do still have to regain all of mid. However, the timer is ticking. Looks like they have their sights set on cut. If they get the picks that they need, they could make this happen. In theory, Ballpoint has an Inkjet ready. Kraken on the side of Rabid here, but they are gonna get the first pick out. That's gonna be Krim going down. They are gonna be able to. Looks like they're gonna be trying to jump this cut in a second, but they know they have to be fast. But they also have to take their time. It's a really interesting dilemma we see here in overtime. It's a few seconds left and they get taken out.
Lily with a beautiful flank from behind. Cherry Lyman is going to take game 8, and we are going into a game 9, a storybook set for the ages. What an absolutely intense bout from both of these teams. Exactly what we've all been wanting. This is a long anticipated set, and I mean, Cherry Lyman and Rabbit are putting on an absolute show here, and it's going to come down to a final showdown on one of the absolute classics, Clamblitz on Mako Mart.
Oh my god. I was talking with the goober who's sitting behind me about like how I wanted the set to go, and I was like, it's either going to be a knockout in one of the team's favors, or it's going to be a game 9. And I am so unbelievably excited. This has been, I think, the best Ludi set I've ever seen. I've watched a good few of them and I've commented even more. I don't think anything can top this. It's the moment of truth here.
This is the moment of truth. I can say already, without even having seen this game 9, this is probably the best that I've ever commentated. I'm absolutely honored to be here. It's been amazing.
I could click the disconnect button right now and leave you, and I would still be super happy. The result doesn't matter. Both of these teams, I won't. But it's both of these teams have every right to be super excited about the result. Cherry Limeade doing probably what they set out to do and just had a really good time, a really fun set. Cannot think of a better way to go out.
I mean, I guess the only way to go out is to win the whole dang thing. Cherry Limeade still fighting for their first set win of this Ludi season, and this is their last chance to do it. Shadow holding up a shirt that I cannot decipher.
It's the Invaders shirt. It's a shirt for Invaders, which is the next set. So even though this is a Ludi set of all time, keep the next set in your sights. Don't leave.
Yeah, even after this insanity, we have 2 hours of sets left to go, 2 full sets to play through. You gotta stay tuned for that. But before you go, we gotta keep this game 9 coming. Clamblitz Mako Mart, an absolute classic. It's gonna be down to the wire, I'm sure of it.
Exactly. God, what left is there to talk about? There's nothing left. How about what weapons do you think we're gonna be seeing? Are they gonna have fun with it? Are we?
I mean, look. If we see 8 vanilla undercover umbrellas in this game, I'm going to lose my mind.
You know that would happen. Okay. Here's the moment of truth. What are they running?
Here's the moment of truth. 4th game on 96 Deco.
And they're taking it
going back to that blob Deco, and Cherry Limeade going to be sipping on some beautiful soda. Core going to stick on the dualies, and Rabbit bringing out their own 96 Deco. It is a Kraken battle in Clamblitz once again.
Willing to note, not a single Zuka in sight. God bless. Nature is healing.
Nature is healing indeed, and I mean, what a set for it to heal on. Beautiful games being played. Let's see another one here. Core fighting for their life, trying to stay alive however possible. It's going to be forced to jump out. That's going to go down on Rabbit. There's a bloodbath in mid, and Cherry Limeade has a good amount of clams at their name, trying to make a football to get that immediate score out. Just the first 30 seconds of the game, Cherry Limeade with a dominant control of the map.
Yeah, first score, ballpoint set up, which is going to be a really hard situation to get them out of. And so, Pika here setting up the pressure. They are starting to go down. It doesn't look like there's going to be any follow-up for that push, but it does set the pace for the game. It does set the expectations that Cherry Limeade is really, really ready to go. Going to be trying to be explosive, which is how this map tends to go.
I mean, yeah, it is just explosive. You see pushes happen every which way, every possible second that's possible. Pika's going to be pushing onto the enemy back here with that Kraken. Gonna be camping Koro's jump with that Kraken, barely avoiding that suction bomb. Is able to stay alive just a little bit longer, and that is exactly what Cherry Limeade needs, just keeping that map control in their favor, keeping that map a beautiful blue as the Rabbit just struggles to fight back, trying to just get whatever plays possible. Another power claim is at the ready here with Lily, and they're trying to make their way toward that basket as Cherry Limeade tries to ready their second push.
You know nerves are high right now, but it looks like this ball is going to be scoring here. 2 members down on the side of Cherry Limeade, though, means that there's not going to be much follow-up. Lily is still living it out over there, distracting them. However, Rabid looks like they're ready to pounce over here. 2 power clams at the ready. Second one gonna be going and immediately forcing them into lead. And they still have a pity clam if they so desire, as well as other clams on the map. And so it is really up to Cherry Lime to stop them before things get too dire. Looks like, oh, there we go, 37 points. Power clam +1, which makes things ever more hairy as the Kraken over here is really fighting with that ballpoint. Still gonna get more clams and down to 31 points here. Duelist Clutchers has so many up there, and so it's really important they keep them out. Looks like Cherry Lime is doing a pretty good job of that, but they are still just trading out members. 11 points on the board. 11 points. That's game.
That is game, set, and match. An intense Game 9 showdown ends with a quick, decisive knockout from Rabid. They're going to take the set 5-4 over Cherry Limeade. What an incredible set between both these teams. What an incredible note for Cherry Limeade to go out on. They might have lost 5 sets of this Luda season, but they can be proud of how they played. That was a phenomenal set to watch between both these teams. Utmost congrats to Rabid. They absolutely killed it, keeping their chances for playoffs alive here in this Luda season. Cherry Limeade going to be bowing out, but what a show they put on for their final hurrah.
I didn't expect that at all. All the other matches have been going on until the very end, pretty much, and that one just... What was the timer on that? Like 1 minute 30 seconds elapsed? Like, it was not... That was fast. That was so fast. Wow. Goodness gracious. Yeah, like I said, what a set. Both teams so proud of how they played. Rabid, of course, deserving to win. Bring the t-shirt over here.
Sure.
Yeah, for later.
Here you go.
However, yeah, just... Oh my god. It has to go in the books. That is genuinely... Like I said, I've commentated probably 15 Ludi sets, something like that. A lot. And I've watched a lot more, and this... by far takes the cake and made it even more special by the special occasion.
Yeah, I mean, what an incredible set, what a special set. Absolute one for the books, one for the storybooks of that. It felt scripted, just how back and forth it was going. Neither team could get a leg up on the other until the absolute very, very end, with Rabid having an absolutely massive push there to seal the deal and take it. Again, huge congrats to both these teams. They played an amazing set, and Cherry Limeade, thank you for always being such an inspiration. Thank you for always being such an amazing force in the community. I wish all 4 of you and the rest of the Cherry Limeade members and the rest of the Limers in the world nothing but the best as your lives go on.
Yes. Limers for life.
A beautiful send-off to Cherry Limeade.
07's in the chat. I want to see him. I want to see them all.
I'm 07ing right now. I'm saluting, even though the webcam's not on.
Yeah, goes,
With that
oh,
being
that's
said-
Phoenix! Get out of here! Get out of here!
Appearance on stream.
You're so obnoxious.
That being said, unfortunately, this set had to end. It's going to end at 9 games. We're going to go the full distance, but with that being said, thank you all so much for watching this amazing set. Stay tuned. There are going to be 2 more amazing sets left to come, but before we go, we're going to have to sign off a little bit.
Yeah, Pinky, where can the people find you?
Incubators. Sure, yeah, thank you, Girlboss, for asking. You guys can find me at twitter.com/brokenpinky_. I might have a little announcement to come in the next few days, so keep your eyes peeled for that. But, Weef, I gotta ask, where can we find you?
You can find me on both Twitter and, not really anymore, Twitch at WeefSlider, like Reef Slider, the special that we did not see with a W at the beginning.
They should buff
sadly,
Reef
no
Slider.
Reef Slider.
That's my send-off.
Yeah, but with that being said, thank you all so much for watching. We're going to throw it over to our next commentators as we see our next set in Division 6. We're watching Ludi's Night here on
That's
Team
mine.
Ready.
Yeah.
Take
Yeah,
care.
thank you for... Stick around, everybody. We'll have more games soon. Alright, I gotta hit the button. Ooh. Where's the button? I can't find it. Sorry. My bad. need to fix mine. Hello, everybody. We're back for more games, and I didn't update the overlay. Oops.
I'm sure nobody in chat would mind watching that set again. That was a great set.
Oh yeah, that was really cool.
Honestly, it was a really insane set going forward. It's crazy. It was crazy.
Got Storm in a teacup versus Galaxy Comets in Division 9. No, Division 6 of Week 1.
6.
My bad.
I believe it's Storm in a Teacup versus Invaders. But anyway, we got an interesting matchup here. It's a Week 1 replay, so this has been cooking for a long time. Invaders, a long-standing, well-known team, have only managed to play 2 of their sets so far. They've won 1, lost 1. Both have been 9 games. So we could really see anything from Invaders. They currently sit 4th in the group, but like I said, they've had really competitive sets so far. Storm in a Teacup only played 3 sets so far, though, so they've still got another one to make up this week. But they have not lost. They've dropped some games here and there, but they are 3-0 currently, with a win due to their matchups with other top teams. With a win, they can lock in the first spot and the best seed for playoffs starting next week. And with the loss, it's going to be a little more stressful. Invaders, still 3 matches to play. Anything can really happen with them. But here's hoping for another dramatic set.
Yeah, even though Storm in a Teacup is currently 3-0 in all of their sets, we honestly should not count out Invaders, considering that they only played 2 of their sets, and considering that they have not played the rest of their sets, it could go really back and forth throughout for these 2 teams, and we cannot really get a basis on how both of these teams are going to play going forward, considering that, again, they did not play all of their sets. So yeah, this is going to be a really interesting set that we are going to get into.
Yep. The other thing is a lot of these replay matches a lot of the matches that needed to be replayed were earlier in the season. So week 1, week 2. Invaders does have a week 4 set to replay. That's not this one. But that means that both teams played last week. Both teams are hot and ready coming into this last set. Both coming off a win. They're going to be hungry to get another win and hopefully start their reschedule week off with a bang.
Yeah, you're certainly considering that if you're considering that with rescheduled sets, if majority of the people in your group has rescheduled sets, it's going to come down to it's most likely going to come down to those rescheduled sets for whatever team makes playoffs, especially in Invaders' case. Since they only played 2 sets so far, they need to do a lot in order to just get back into the game and try to qualify for playoffs. So this is going to be really interesting to see. Right now, this is the week 1, right? The week 1.
Yep, week 1 match.
Yeah, the graphic is wrong. Okay, so
okay.
So right now for week 1, we are going into Splatstone's Brine Water, which is what we did see in the Rabbit versus Limeade set last time. And as we saw there, that map mode could be really snowbally if you're just not playing very carefully. So we're gonna have to see how these 2 teams are just going to go into this.
Yeah, it's a tiny zone. As long as you can keep one person holding an NZAP or a junior alive, putting paint on the zone, it's hard to completely lose it. But it's also a really great map for, backline players. We saw Rabid switch to a charger that they hadn't had before, and on Cherry Limeade we saw Shiny switch to the pencil on this map. It's if either of these teams have a Charger player, we're going to get to see it in game one, I think.
Yeah, we are certainly going to be able to see a lot of backline play in general, not just Chargers. We're definitely going to be seeing, we're most likely going to be seeing Chargers. I won't be surprised if one of these guys pull out an E-leader. We're definitely going to be seeing a pencil. Ballpoint is also a given. Any backline that's just not automatically throwing is honestly a given for these two teams. So yeah, we do expect to see at least one long range option on each team.
I'm a big fan of Expwasher on this map. I think it's extremely underrated. But yeah, like you said, we'll probably see. We probably won't see more than one backline on either team.
Yeah, obviously,
but at least one most likely. And it looks like we are getting ready to load into the game. I see an E-leader badge on the left. There it is, everybody's favorite. And a pencil on the other team with a tent umbrella. Now that's an interesting pick.
Yeah, I feel like tent umbrella is honestly pretty good on this map, considering that there's some narrow chokes that could be really easy for the tent to push through. And as we see, the tent is trying to push through the right side of the map as they're trying to create space for their team. So far, it's now 3-3 on each side. Members 2 to go down on the side of, I believe, Storm in a teacup, I believe.
We got
Invaders
in yellow and Storm and Teacup in blue.
I got you. So we had like 2 go down early on the side of Invaders, and they are now on the back foot as Storm and the Teacup is trying to hold the zone. But right now Invaders is trying to push back forward. However, the strikes do come out on the side of Storm and the Teacup, and 1 go down on the side of Invaders. And right now they're getting pushed back by the Zuka. As they're trying to stay there.
Unfortunate for Invaders not to get any value out of that Zuka. They're gonna have to make a move on zone very soon. They're getting in there and they're fighting, but it took them until now to get their first cap of the zone. Storm and a Teacup putting up a strong lead to start game 1, showing why they are 3-0.
Yeah, Invaders really is pushing their advantage. They really further right now, getting down to 36. However, the splash does go down to the shot, who immediately gets straight out, and now it's 2-2. But slightly favoring Invaders since they do have map and another kill to clear to seal the deal. However, they do go 2 down, and this is the chance for Storm in the Teacup to try to push back in. Right now, Invaders is trying to defend it. I do have the 10 player underneath the ledge where the leader is standing, trying to pressure him out of position. And right now, the leader is just getting pressured by literally everything in the map. The tent was pressuring them. The Zuka was trying to find a pick on the leader, and right now, like it looks like it's starting to work because the leader cannot really find anything on the side for their team. However, a pick does go out on the side of on the shot, and this is looking like a retake for Storm and the Teacup.
Yeah, it looks like Storm and Teacup is getting close. Then they take the knockout. That was a really, really interesting game for me. Because normally when you see 2 backline players on this map, it's E-leader versus E-leader, and that's the whole thing that the game is about. But this game was kind of more about Tent Umbrella and Splattershot versus E-leader. Storm and Teacup just kept putting so much pressure on the backline of Invaders that they weren't able to really exert that area of control that you normally see from an E-leader, and that meant that their frontliners couldn't get in either. So Storm in a Teacup coming out with a perfect storm to take game 1. Virus, what do you think about game 2? This is another strong E-leader map, but maybe not E-leader's favorite mode.
Yeah, I feel like that. Like especially for tower control, it could be very snowbally for E-leader to handle sometimes, especially on Link Block. Because after on the first checkpoint, after you lose your bats, which is like a really important area to control, it's just gonna be really frustrating for the defending team to just try to take back the tower and try to push forward. At the same time, leader does exert a really good amount of pressure on this map, like you said. Once it gets onto one of the stacks, it could just wreak havoc on those stacks. So if they, I would not be surprised if they keep the leader for the side of Invaders. I will not be surprised if Storm in the Teacup keeps the pencil here as well, because not only that pencil is strong, but it's also a pretty strong pencil map as well.
Yeah, definitely. Good map for Chargers, but I believe Shads, the backline player for Invaders, also plays splat lanes. In which case, I find it hard. I'm a backline player as well, and I find it hard to not pick ballpoint on this map. The Fizzy Bomb covers all of plat, it covers all of bats, it can get you in mid. The Inkjet rising over those ledges is really strong as well. But if they're expecting the Charger again from Storm and Teacup, Inkjet does kind of become really easy Charger food, especially now that it doesn't have ink armor to protect it.
Yeah, while Inkjet is really impressive on the Zap, at the same time, Leader could just very easily shut it down if you're not careful. Right now, we do see the Charger coming back on the side of Storm in the Teacup. This time, we're seeing the ZNF, which is a really good Charger pick. And right now, we are seeing the double strike on the side of Storm in the Teacup, looking for the tower cheese with the double strikes. And on the side of Invaders, we are seeing the same comp. We do see the tent on the left side trying to apply some pressure. And they're just staying alive, trying to tank as much resources as they can on the enemy team. However, the T-Tech does go down and the Umbrella is forced to jump out. And Storm and Teacup is going to get the initial push. However, the Charger does go down immediately, and the tent is now enabled behind the tower, and is almost able to take out the shot. However, they do go down, and it's now 2-2, slightly in the favor of Invaders right now.
Yeah, this has been a bloodbath in mid to start the game off. Nobody's really able to get a solid control of mid and push the tower, but this Tent Umbrella is doing a really good job of getting set up and stopping Invaders from really getting anything going. And it's telling because Storm and Teacup just cleared the checkpoint for the first time. Unfortunately, they go down, but the tent is still alive. This tent is key to their strategy, and they do manage to jump out safely, meaning they'll be able to set up for a solid defense on the counter push from Invaders.
This tent is just constantly trying to take away attention and resources away from the side of Storm and Teacup right now, but it didn't really find anything on that push. And I feel like the thing with this map mode in general is that if you're not able to take bats, it's just going to be really difficult to just push more forward in, and it's going to lead into a lot of very stally games, like we see here. Almost down to 3 minutes left, and no team have gotten even close to clearing the second checkpoint. They're just barely clearing the first checkpoint. Right now, we do see Storm and Teacup trying to make a push. However, the ZNF does go down in the process. However, Storm and Teacup is able to keep mid. However, the tent is on the side, 2 on the bottom left side, but behind the tent shield. However, the T-Tech does go down through the shields, and Storm and Teacup is trying their best to just continue to hold mid. Right now, they do take care of the zap, so they are going to disable that core for a little bit. However, they're not really able to just move much further.
Yeah, this game is really taking a stally approach in mid. Getting some ink brush action here. If I'm the ink brush player on Invaders, I think it's time to just find the Tent Umbrella and throw bombs at them constantly. Good pick from both the Trizuka and the Charger on Invaders to really slow down that push there. Good strikes coming out to keep it dead, but that's a lot of points for Storm and Teacup.
That push was looking really scary for Storm and Teacup. However, that Charger was able to get a really key pick on the zap to be able to stop the tower from moving any further, and as a result, the defense was able to crumble from there, as the Charger on Storm and Teacup is able to take care of the zap again, as they are now 1 down once again. However,
Oh.
the Charger just takes care of the Inkjet while trying to exert some pressure on the map. Insane play from the Charger as they're just trying to stall the tower as much as possible by shooting at it and throwing the strikes to stall out some more. But right now, the 10th on the side of Invaders is trying to create some space for their team. Is now in their base. Maybe no, they do successfully back out. However, they do try to fight it out, and they do end up going down. It's now 2 dead on the side of Invaders, and Storm the Teacup is trying to push forward. However, the Charger goes down to slow things down, and they are now 2 dead. And this is not really looking like the push is going to continue any further.
Yeah, it was a good effort from Invaders there, but they just went 2 down at the wrong time and didn't have the power to keep that push up. Now they're 3 down, and Storm and Teacup is really trying to force the issue in this game. They got the Tenebrella set up in plat.
Storm and Teacup is defending, by the way.
Storm and Teacup is in purple.
Oh, there? Oh, my bad.
I believe so.
Are they?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
Invaders are in yellow right now. Anyway, Storm and the Teacup putting up a strong push into mid here, clearing that second checkpoint. It's an all-important checkpoint lead for them. And we're seeing some key picks from Shads here and there, but it's just not enough to keep the rest of the team alive and able to counteract the tower push.
Yeah, Storm and the Teacup is really pushing their revenge right here, and it's looking like a knockout. However, the time does run out before the knockout even happens. But even still, Storm and the Teacup is able to go 2-0 over Invaders in fairly slow fashion, but they were able to really push their revenge state near the end.
Yeah, Storm and Teacup is not really making huge explosive pushes like you might expect to see from a team that's been dominant in their group. But they are really playing to the strength of their Tentabrilla player. I know we keep going on and on and on about it, but that's really been pivotal to their strategy, is just putting the Tentabrilla in a spot and just making sure that they control that spot, right? Because a Tentabrilla with no friendly ink around it is not a threat at all. You just move to the other side of their shield and throw a bomb. But Tentabrilla with friends around it is like, okay, you have to invest all of your resources into killing this Tentabrilla, or else they're going to get close enough and they're going to one-shot you. But while you're doing that, while you're paying so much attention to the Tentabrilla, their teammates are just coming in and saying, "You're dead, you're dead, you're dead," one at a time. Invaders needs to find a way to deal with the Tenebrella, and I think it could be their brush player. I think the brush can do something very similar, like go into an area and say, "You have to look at me now." I also think brush is alright at fighting Tenebrella, just because it has the mobility to get around the other side and throw a bomb. But so far, the Invaders brush player hasn't been able to make it happen. They might have to switch up their strategy if they want to start making more of an impact on these games.
Invaders is really needs to find an answer for that Tenebrella, because that Tenebrella is just like as you said, is able to just contract so many resources, which is what it wants, because it does not want you to look at the objective. It does not want you to pay attention to anything more important. It wants you to pay attention to that tent, because if you don't pay attention to that tent, who knows? Maybe that tent will just wreak havoc on the enemy team. So yeah, it's really going to be interesting to see how Invaders is going to try to counteract this. Invaders is probably going to have that brush just try to skirmish on their backline, just be just as annoying as a 10 is for them, like you said earlier, Math. And it's just and I really want to see how Invaders is going to try to develop a counter for this.
Yeah, they looked solid at points in that game. They were unfortunate to go 2 down at the wrong time there for that one push that they were almost able to get going. But Yeah, they got to dig deep and come up with something, because going 3 down in a set like this can be a really good way to lose. Obviously, you have to go 5 games down to actually lose, but 3-0 is tough to come back from. Now, I think this is going to be an alright map for them to do it. Obviously, the brushes got strengths on Plan Blitz that we might see in the next game, but I'm not so sure about Tentabrella on Humpback Pump Track. We'll see if Storm and Teacup still brings it out.
I feel like Tenebrella is really strong when pushing through the elbow, but anywhere else they could just get surrounded really quickly. They are going to be switching to the Vac Tenebrella, which I feel like is a good pick, especially for Rainmaker, as they could just really easily just cheese a push with that Vac. And we do see Storm and Teacup with the initial pop of the Rainmaker, and the tent is going in, getting an immediate pick on the shot, and they're just immediately enabled to just try to push this right side. They do have the Vac if they want to just get this checkpoint really quickly, as the tent once again takes someone out. This tent is just being a really big problem on the side of Invaders, and it looks like that Storm and the Teacup is gonna really easily be able to take that check, but the strikes are coming out, and the stamp behind them is gonna look like it's gonna slow things down for Storm and the Teacup, but eventually the check does fall for Storm and the Teacup.
Yeah, great first push from Storm and Teacup. They'll get some more points out of this vacuum here. But I do really like the swap away from backline and onto Wiper from Invaders. If they can stop this push here, they will have a solid chance at taking this map back. That Ultra Stamp providing a whole lot of value there, taking out the Tenebrella, taking out the Rainmaker, and for the first time in this game, Invaders can breathe.
That stamp was just hiding in the corner, just waiting, and it was like, "Oh, you want to win the game? Nope, not yet. You gotta work for more." And we did see the Wiper just trying to break away for the checkpoint, but unfortunately they do get punished immediately. And right now, Storm and the Teacup has complete control of mid. So right now, Invaders are close specialists to try to stop this. However, the Zipcaster on the side of Storm and Teacup goes out, and it is able to take care of the brush as they are now set up, and the back comes out, but the Wiper is going to take care of the Rainmaker through the Vac. That's one of the strengths of Wiper going into this matchup. The Wiper is just really easily going to be able to take care of any type of vacuum pushes, assuming that there's no follow from the team.
Yeah, good pick on the Wiper to counteract the Ink Vac. But again, Invaders just letting Storm and Teacup get in, and they're not really making opportunities for themselves right now. They're having to wait until Storm and Teacup puts their pinky toe just too far in, and then they get a weird triple. But this hammer is going to make an opportunity for itself. A triple from the hammer, great picks. Finally, Invaders can start to move ahead of the checkpoint and maybe get this done.
Invaders, like that hammer from Invaders really opened up a lot of stuff, but at the same time, it doesn't really get as much value as I might think, considering the fact that the whole entire, considering that all of Storm and the Teacup were clear, then they were able to respawn with specials in order to clear out their elbow, and they were just using all of their specials in order to just clear out space and to put a stop to that push. The striking brush is going to slow down the rain. However, Storm and the Teacup does still have mid and is going to be able to stall rain in mid and potentially try to push it further to win the game. Right now, we do see the sniper parking under the snipe, isn't going to find anything. However, you do see the shot trying to shark up. The shot doesn't find anything. However, Storm and Teacup does go 2 down, and this is the opening that Invaders is waiting for. They need to grab this rain and they need to try to make something happen. However, Invaders does go 2 down once again, and they are getting pushed back.
Yeah, great defense from Invaders, and good call to pick up the Rainmaker as well. They have it in an area that is fairly easy to defend, and that means that they're able to just stall out. And even if they were to go down there, Invaders can't immediately counter push. That said, really good defensive play from the rest of the team means that they have an advantage now, and the Rainmaker is getting close to having a clear shot on the checkpoint. Luckily, the wiper's able to intervene, but things are not looking good for Invaders right now.
Invaders is just doing a really good job at maintaining these really defensive holds and preventing Storm and the Teacup from pushing it further. However, they are using up a lot of resources to try to clear them out from their elbow, and they're not really able to try to make a push again happen. However, the Stamper on the side of Storm and the Teacup is able to get a triple to open a lot of stuff up for Storm and the Teacup as the vacuum does come out, and they are going to try to just stall on this elbow. They do not need to push here. There's no need to push. And as 3 go down on the side of Invaders, this is looking like Game 3 is going to Storm and the Teacup, and it will. Storm and the Teacup is just going to stall reign for the rest of the game and take a very convincing Game 3 win.
Yeah, no risks taken there from Storm and the Teacup at the very end. Really great play from them. They always seem to have specials at the ready to make a push, and they really forced Invaders to use their own specials just to take back their plat, which is never something you're excited about. That said, I did like the comp change from Invaders. I think not picking backline into Tentebrella is a good choice. Because, Tentebrella, it is really good at cutting off one angle. And with backline players being, so far away from the Tentebrella, it's really hard for them to get around and shoot at the other side of the shield. So it kind of turns the game into a 4v3 if you've got, Charger or Ballpoint or whatever into Tentebrella. But we'll see if they make the same picks in Macromart. Invaders have been changing out players, changing out weapons, pretty consistently trying to find something that works. And I think that was, for me, that was the closest that they've been so far. Like, yeah, the game was dominated by Storm and Teacup, but Invaders really showed moments of quality from the hammer, from the tri-strikes, and were able to really get the beginning of some pushes going, but they always went down at the wrong time, and Storm and the Teacup were always back so fast with the cooler.
Yeah,
Invaders has to keep trying stuff, man.
Yeah, it does seem like Invaders is looking like they're getting closer and closer in order to counter the strategy that Storm and the Teacup is going for, and it does seem like it's starting to work. I feel like the weapon changes are working for them. That the amount of mobility that the side of Invaders have is really useful in order for just getting around the Tenumbrella and just like playing around its weaknesses, which is the fact that it can only just tank from the front. It cannot tank from any other angle, and because of that, they're just able to just really easily swarm the Tenumbrella with the amount of mobility that they have. But at the same time, they're always falling short because it does seem like they do have a good push going. However, they do kind of feed in a little bit too far forward. So I feel like if they just kind of swap their playstyles. So I feel like if they just kind of swap their playstyle a little bit, they're gonna have a much easier time against Storm and Teacup. So it's gonna be really interesting to see how they're going to approach this game 4 on Clowns Mika.
Yep, it looks like we're still not seeing a backline from Invaders. Storm and Teacup, Tentebrella as ever. This is a solid Tentebrella map. Now is the time for Invaders to find a solution, but they go down early.
Yeah, if there's any map that you run Tentebrella on, it's gonna be this map. Tentebrella just kind of, it covers all of stack. It covers all of mid. It covers the two alleys. And right now, it seems like that this whole entire comp is working for Storm and Teacup as they are able to get that initial score. However, the hammer is going to take out one of their members. And stuff is gonna stay pre-neutralized right here. There doesn't look like it's gonna be much more of a bigger push as 2 go down on the side of Storm and the Teacup, and Invaders is looking to try to push this back. We do see the brush by the right stack. Is going to whale that right stack to try to clear it out. However, and to try to approach on it. Right now, the Rush is trying to approach on the right stack. However, they are getting focused. However, it does take out one of the members on Storm and Teacup, and right now, Invaders is set up. However, they don't have any clams, and they do go 3 down to, I believe, the Fizzy from the Tri-Slasher player on Storm and Teacup. That's really unfortunate.
Really great Fizzy throw. Great call out from the Tri-Slasher to see that they were so bunched up and get that kill. Storm and Teacup here adding to their lead even after almost getting wiped. I thought that was the time for Invaders, but they're going to have to make some magic again. Wiper's taking out the Stamper in mid with the help of their Splash player. And it looks like Invaders is going to be able to stop the bleeding for now, but Storm and Teacup is really putting up big numbers here, especially with the Tri-Slasher having gotten behind again.
Yeah, Storm and Teacup is able to put on big scores, and this Tri-Slasher is just stalling forever on their backlines and is almost able to get out of that alive. However, they do get swarmed and do get taken out mid-jump. Right now, we do see a Umbrella moment on the side of Storm and Teacup as that tent does die through the shields. However, 2 down on the side of Invaders as they are really condensed on the bottom right side of the map as the Wiper does go down, and it's just a shot trying to hold things on the front lines as they go down to the Stamper on their stack. And right now, the Stamper isn't able to try to find more picks. They do have the Zipcaster ready to try to open stuff up for their team. However, they are 1 down, but they're going to pop Zipcaster anyway. And they are targeting the shot on the side of Invaders, and they're just taking a lot of attention and just stalling out and making the members of Invaders just look at them, and as a result, their teammates are just able to walk forward. And right now, 3 down, go down on Invaders, and a wipe, and Storm and Teacup is going to immediately start scoring again.
Yeah, Storm and Teacup has been absolutely relentless this game. That was a great distraction from the Stamper, and just incredible team play going on in Invaders spawn. They got a couple people back running clams to get the knockout, but the real stars of the show there were the Stamper and yet again the Tenzabella, just wreaking havoc in behind the basket of Invaders. Just too many hitboxes coming from too many directions. They could not deal with it.
The entirety of Storm and the Teacups' comp just flows really well with each other. We have the tent just throwing the shield forward to try to create space. We have the Stamper also going. We have the Stamper going in with the tent in order to just try to pressure areas, as well as having really good mid-range pressure. And we also have the Tri-Slasher, which is just going to, which can play really well around the tent, able to shark up behind the tent and just kill people. There's no other way to explain it. This comp is just really good at just enabling each other 1 by 1, and it's really nice to see the amount of coordination that Storm and Teacup has. It does seem like that Invaders is trying to find an answer, but again, I feel like it's somewhat of a coordination thing. They do need to be able to shut down the most threatening members on their team on Storm and Teacup, being the Ten Umbrella. And after that, they just need to just be really solid in both their offense and defense. So this game is their last chance. They need to win these 5 games in a row in order to bring this back.
Yeah, it is not easy to reverse sweep any set, much less a Ludi set. You will hardly ever see best of 9 anywhere else, except in Ludi. So Invaders have a monumental task in front of them, and they've tried a whole lot of different things against Storm and Teacup. Virus, what do you want to see them pull out for Game 5? What do you think is going to be their best chance of getting a foothold back in the set?
Honestly, if they're going to stick the Wiper player, I feel like that they should probably switch off from the Wiper to the Diaper. Yeah, the Stamp is doing a really good job at canceling it, but the missiles for the Diaper could just really easily just clear out any type of opening that the tent wants to make, which is something that they need to take care of. Other than that, I feel like it's just like a gameplay thing. they're also at a disadvantage considering the fact that they're not running any cooler going into a team with cooler, and that's putting them at a great disadvantage because they are just going to get outpaced. And if they're and they need to be playing really solidly against a cooler team in order to try to hold their space. And if not, they're just gonna get outpaced and overrun by Storm and the Teacup. We are going to see the comps coming out on both sides. We do see the pencil double shot on the side of Storm and the Teacup. I believe that is the triple Zuka comp. It is. And for Invaders, we do see the leader coming back. We are no longer on the Wiper territory, unfortunately. As a Wiper player, I'm kind of sad, but it's fine. But yeah, we do see the brush under mid trying to make something happen. One does go down on the side of Storm and the Teacup, and the whale does come out on the side of the brush to try to make something happen. However, the splash does go down, but it doesn't really matter considering the fact that they're really quickly able to retake zone.
Yeah, normally we see a pretty strong opening push from Storm and a Teacup, but right now it's coming out of Invaders. They're 2 down right now, but they got the first cap of the zone. They really split up Storm and a Teacup. Unfortunately, they weren't able to pick the tent umbrella that got behind them, and that kind of led to this situation that we're in now. But they're getting some good specials out. They had a good opening to the game. I can see them getting a foothold here.
Yeah, it does seem like that Invaders is looking like they're really flowing right now. They are really doing a really good job at just like pushing in, and they were able to have like a really good defense, really good offense as well. The brush was able to flank the pencil, however, it does immediately go down to the shot and 2 go down on the side of Invaders. And I believe the brush does go down again as Storm and the Teacup is able to hold the top left. However, the T-Tech is not the T-Tech, the end splash is still here under the left side, and they don't see him. He's just gonna shark under here. However, he is gonna get called out. He's gonna get pushed, and he's gonna go down, but not without the pencil on the side of Storm and the Teacup going down as well.
Yeah, I really liked that play from the Neo Splash. It ended up being too little, too late, but they were going for a flank on the tent while they were in Inkzuka because they've obviously identified that the tent is a huge threat in this set. But unfortunately, the tent shield came back up just in time. 20 points left on the clock. 1 member down on each side. It's now or never for Invaders.
Yeah, Invaders has to go, and they have to go now. Luckily, they do have 3 specials at the rate to try to push forward, but the zone timer is ticking down quickly, and they're just barely not able to take back zone as Storm and the Teacup, it does take the 5-0 and is now 4-0 in their Ludi matches.
Mm-hmm. Great job from Storm and a Teacup to come back from kind of a disjointed opening on their end. And just secure the set 5-0. That was incredible. Like I said earlier, they would secure top spot in the group with a win, and they really showed here today that they deserve that top spot. Invaders, unfortunately, taking the loss. I don't believe they're out of it yet, but I didn't do all the math. But they'll have to get some fire in their belly from this set and really go on and take the rest of their replay matches by the horns.
Yeah, Invaders really does need to go out all of their way in order to try to bring this back in their group. But Storm and the Teacup did punch their ticket into what's this called? Into this Division 6 playoffs, I'm pretty sure. So
Yep.
So best of luck to Storm and the Teacup in playoffs. As for Invaders, best of luck to y'all in all of y'all's and the rest of y'all's group matches. Y'all put up a really strong fight today, and y'all's adaptations were really nice here. So it was really nice to see.
Yeah. All right, we are looking at 5 minutes until the next set is supposed to start.
No,
so
it's 30 minutes away.
Split. Oh, all right. Well,
it's 10:30.
it's
Stick
my
around,
time,
y'all.
So we gotta split anyway.
Yeah.
Virus, where can the good people find you?
You can find me on Twitter at virus that VIRXZ, iVirus. You can also find me on YouTube at the name's virus, as well as on Twitch at Twitch TV / the name's virus. The same name. So yeah.
That's
So yeah,
many social medias.
Yeah, so yeah, Moth, where can they find you?
Like it says on screen, at Mothman_SP on Twitter. Normally, you can find me in the Twitch chat for the next set, but right now it's my bedtime. It's time for me to sign off.
I still got one more in me, so like.
Oh yeah, we're sticking
I'm still
around.
going.
Commentated 2 sets, by the way. How does that feel?
Yeah, I'm just like low key glad that this was not a game 9 set because my voice would be fried. But anyways.
Oh yeah. Alright, well anyways, thank you for sticking around, y'all. We're gonna cut it here until the next set, which is at 10:30. Don't go anywhere. You're watching TV tonight or something. I don't really know. Can't move it. Oh, oh no. Oh no. Oh, what's going on? I don't see anything. Nothing. The invisible. There's nothing here. Video mode hates me and it still hates me. Sorry. Hello, everybody. Welcome back. Got another set for you. Okay.
Hello.
You got Galaxy
Hello.
Commons versus D6 from Division 9, Week 4. Commentators complete.
Yo, I am back for a second round of commentating. I'm now joined with
Just call me Lila. Just call me Lila.
Lila. Yeah, thank you. I should have asked you. That's my bad. That's,
Nah, you're cool.
But yeah, we do have a Division 9 set coming up. Galaxy Comets versus Seasick. Galaxy Comets, I believe, are 0-4 in their sets right now.
0-4. It shows 3-0 right now.
That's just a shame. It'll get fixed eventually. Anyways. Currently, Galaxy Comets are 0-4 in their sets, and with Seasick being 2-2, so Seasick is going quite even under sets right now, and Galaxy Comets going 0-4. Both of these teams trying to close out their rescheduled match with a really convincing dub right here.
Alright, yeah. I mean, reschedule, you gotta play it out, you know? Even though your scores isn't too great, I still have mine to do this weekend. But more so the fact I've had this bit I want to ask you already. What do I call you by again? I forgot to ask you too.
You could call me Virus. It's fine.
Virus?
Yeah.
Alright, now Virus, here's the question for you that I've been trying to ask. In a situation, what do you want to be thrown upon, comets or seasickness?
Hold on a second.
Oh, well. I mean, now personally, I would much prefer being thrown up on before comets hit me and destroy my life, but we're going to see what both of these teams are going to bring out. This is week 4, and going into game 1, while we're waiting for fellow Virus to come back, we're going to look at the map list, hopefully.
Yeah, I'm back, my bad.
Let's see. Hello, welcome back.
So what was the question again?
Would you rather be thrown up upon or have a comet hit you, basically?
Thrown up upon, because I value life. That's it, really.
Much agree. But yeah, it is. What is it? Oh, it is clam crab leg. That's a first. Nice.
Yep. Yeah, Clam's crab leg is a really interesting map because it could be for one, it could be really snowbally, but at the same time, it could just go on for the whole 5 minutes plus more if both teams are holding really well. So yeah, it's really interesting to see how these two teams are just gonna try to approach things.
For me personally, Crab Leg, Cram Blitz, it's a map. It's really nice, I would say, for a new map, especially for Clam Blitz, because the grates feel really fair for all routes of push, and you actually have different routes of pushes, you know? You have the lower left side, you have the middle contested ramp, you also have the top right bridge grates area, whatever you call it, that has a good high ground opportunity if you set up correctly. So in terms of general fairness, I'd say this map has the greatest advantage for all the teams that's going to be playing, especially if I say currently the Zuka meta is still pretty strong, and as well as, dare I say, Chargers.
Yeah, we certainly are going to as you said, the different all the different approach options on this map mode are really nice for these teams, considering that for Splatoon 3 standards, you don't really get a lot of approach options. You only get 1 or 2, and those 2 approach options are very linear. So seeing 3 different unique approach options from a couple different angles that you have to watch is really nice to get for these maps. So, yeah.
Definitely. I mean, what would you like to be? What do you hope to see during this set here? What weapons?
Obviously we're going to see a whole bunch of Zuka. So that's a big difference. But some other different weapons that we might see. I know that we saw a tent umbrella on the last set. If any of y'all caught that. But I will not be surprised if any team pulls out a tent here if they do have a tent player, because tent is just really strong at clearing out space on this map in particular, especially the top left grates, which is really difficult to push from. Other than that, I do feel that we are going to see a whole bunch of spot links. I do think that we are going to see a ballpoint Devo, because Vac is also really strong here.
Yeah, so, yeah, I was about to say, the tent options are not too bad either, because you can also tank one Zuka shot, granted if your tent works, that tanks that one that one shot that you couldn't react, and then the next 2 shots you can just dodge it with your own swimming. And also, like you said, Vac, right? If I like to see more Vanilla Tent being played sometimes, because Vanilla Tent, you got the shield option, then you got the one-shot kill option on your shots, then you also have the Vac that can back you up and back the shield up and back anyone that's within both of those things, you know? So it's like a double shield formation that's going on.
Yeah, I like the Vanilla Tent is like the much more underrated of the duo, but at the same time, both of those weapons still see like really good usage for the tent mates out there.
Yeah,
so,
no,
and then
personally.
they both see like a lot of really nice usage because we have the Vac tent, like as you were saying, could just be like a double shield kind of thing where it could just like go in and then just like tank a whole bunch of stuff. And then we have the Sorella tent, which can do the same thing with its main weapon, but then it gets Zuka, and then it just Zuka's from behind a shield, and then it's just really difficult to fight the weapon.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, there's also one thing that I don't see play a lot of, Stamper, or like Wiper in general too, if they're going up against any Vac weapons. Because both of them have like very strong counter specials if you think about it, right? Hammer can go through that invulnerability area. Stamper also has a Zipcast that also recently have shown even better usage because of the buff, you know? And if people can just go straight through it and then also use the melee damage to their advantage, you know, it's an instant counter just by playing that said weapon. We also have seen a lot more 96 Deco that came out recently. Also in the last 2 sets, I believe we've seen a couple of them outright.
Yeah, we were seeing, like, I do agree that like a lot of that like Sword will be a really good counter to that, especially Stamper, because if Vac gets popped, the Stamper could just zip straight to the Vac user and then immediately clear them out. So yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what these two teams are going to be playing for in terms of strategy.
It's
right now on the side of
blaster.
Yeah, on the side of Galaxy Comments, we do see the range blaster
coming
out, and we see a crack-on roller coming out on the side of C-Stick, which is a really interesting crack-on option to say the least.
Yeah, and the VDS as well. These are not the most common picks you have, but both teams actually both have a wave breaker to work with, and I only see one Suka in the entire match right now, Virus.
Let's go. The world is healing. Let's get it.
Yeah, the world is healing. The world is slowly getting back to its roots. We don't have to rely on a big one haha funny shot to kill you. But regardless, they already built up their... We always have to go. This is my curse. Every single set that I've casted in always has one DC. I cannot keep doing this. You need to get me off the mic. You need to get me near... No. Never let me near another match ever again. Oh my goodness. You cannot let me do this again. Was that Galaxy Comments that had a DC? I'm not sure.
I think it was, yeah.
That comment really took out the Wi-Fi signal there, but yeah. But let's talk about those comps real quick. On one side we see no Zuka but Range Blaster, 52. On the other side, you know, CDS. I mean not CDS, VDS, and then also what was it? It was a Wave Breaker. What was it?
I think it was range, no?
No, VDS and what was the other one? VDS on top of what was the other one?
I think we are.
Brain farted. Oh, I disconnected.
The brain fart is real.
Communication has occurred in my brain.
They had a crack on, I'm pretty sure, no?
Oh yeah, crack-on roller. Yeah, no. Like I said, right? Crack-on roller is so interesting to play with because you got the roller buff now, and you have beacons to keep jumping back to, and you have Kraken to play with.
Yeah, it does seem like that. Like, yeah, Kraken roller is like one of like the worst Kraken weapons out there compared to like anything else that you have. Like at the same time, it does work, especially if you have a dedicated roller player, because once the roller gets enabled, it could cause havoc on the enemy team, and it's going to be really difficult for the enemy team to be able to just combat that if they're not playing around it well.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, if the levels here that they can play it correctly, it's going to be either they can jump the Kraken, jump the balls in onto the Kraken faster, or whoever kills the people who are on set balls first.
Yeah, and also like the thing about Kraken is that it's starting to like get a lot more hate towards the top level. Like usually we would see around like the low levels down, but now we're seeing a lot of the top levels down and a lot more as well. But the thing about Kraken Cheese is that it's really committal. And you could get the scores, but if anything goes wrong, you're just gonna get immediately wiped, and the opposing team is going to be able to push right back in.
Some implement strategies I've seen is that like they only jump one power clam and then they keep staggering those jumps so that when the Kraken ends, right, they can support whoever is one by one jumping in, or they can stay alive, and whoever died after jumping the clam, they can just jump back into the Kraken. Whoever was on the Kraken and retreat it, right? You know?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah. If you don't get wiped out all at once, you can still have some presence in your mid side or mid side.
Yeah, especially if you have cooler, because the cooler jumps with cooler is arguably the most annoying thing to deal with in this game.
Definitely. Jumping cooler to cooler, and then jumping from base into another cooler. But oh wait, did we see any cooler options? Both teams had a zap, right?
Both teams did have a zap. You're right.
Okay, yeah. I still want to figure out the I mean, personally for me, I would love to see more coolerless comps coming out, but seeing how like unavoidable sometimes Zuka is, and we see a lot more QR comeback on a lot more weapons that we really shouldn't see it with, is speaking volumes to how much tactical it impacts the game right now.
Yeah, true. Especially since like with these like kill heavy specials such as Zuka, and with the nature of Zuka, right? Like you could have like the best push ever, and then a Zuka could just come out and kill your whole team. Like I had a Ascended Keystone once with my team, right? Where like we were trying to they were like 2 down, and we were trying to push back, and then the Zuka just wiped us all out. And then we just ended up losing the game because of that. So yeah,
that's crazy.
Like Zuka, if you are not careful, could just take out your whole entire team, and so you need to play around it accordingly.
Yeah, I mean, like, as much as we think that Zuka is the worst thing ever, we gotta appreciate that the value that you get out of it has to be executed in a way that, you know, both the user and the receiver has to line up perfectly, and that you have to be in a right, what do I put this? You have to be in a right area mindset to be able to use it, or if you just use it for the sake of using it, you know, you're not gonna get much.
Yeah. Like sometimes Zuka could be like inconsistent at times. There are moments where it does seem like the Zuka does connect directly with someone, and then they just live for some reason.
Alright, do we have to call up T-Mobile or ADTD here? Do we have to like see what's going on with the situation right now? Did the comet actually hit them so hard that they lost all of their Wi-Fi right here?
This is a certified solo fire moment.
Yerp. What provider do you use? I think Virus.
Verizon.
Nice. I don't know what mine is.
It ain't Spectrum.
Oh no, I think mine is Xfinity. I think that's mine. Yeah, I think so. I'm not sure, but
yeah, I don't know too much about internet providers. All I know is that Spectrum is terrible, and that's it.
Internet. Download
Wi-Fi.
at 940 kbh. Let's go.
Let's get it.
Let's get it.
Yeah.
Holy crap. No, but okay, wait. Speaking of Zuka, though, there's only one Zuka. Wait, no, I just remembered. Yeah,
there's only one Zuka on the side of Seasick, I believe.
Yeah,
it's really interesting to see, because like normally you would see like 2 Zukas on each side, or at least one on each team comp. Just like really interesting to see. And we are now going back into game 1 of this match, and both teams are gonna stick the same. Wait, did they have a 96 last game or no?
Yeah,
no, they had the Vanilla Gal.
What was it?
I don't think that's allowed. Is that allowed?
Yeah, they noticed.
The orange Seasick does notice.
Seasick, I think they have noticed the change, but I don't know if they're gonna go ahead with that. I don't remember clearly if no, it was a 52. It was not 96. It was 52.
It was a 52.
It was 52. Yeah, so I am not sure if they're allowed to do this, and they're still not pausing the game for it.
They're still not playing. It does seem like that they are trying to play it out. I do see some bombs coming out.
Yeah, I think they don't. I think they have no choice right now.
I think it's like a little too late to. It's a little too late to call off now. So yeah. As we're going to it, Galaxy Comets does take mid and the crack.
Oh no, there it is. No, there it is. Yeah, well, we're gonna come right back, and when these two have finally sorted out all the technical issues that we have to provide, holy crap!
This is something, to say the least.
They were like, we saw crack and cheese. We must do it to them.
It took a while. But like the thing is that gonna be a game for Seasick or not? I'm really confused right now.
It's not. I think. Okay, so the
okay.
first replay. Wait, no. So yeah, okay. Galaxy Comets was the one that disconnected. It was the 52 player. Then they came back with 96.
Yeah. Like
Okay.
I'm pretty sure like it's in the rules. Like I haven't not like read like 100% on the DC rules, but this is like I believe this is like universal for like all DCs, right?
Mhm,
Is that if you
universal.
DC you need to stick the same comp.
Mhm.
Or like if anything happens right now.
It's a
you just
gentleman
need to
rule.
stick it. Yeah.
Yep. But don't know. I mean, I mean, you know.
Yeah.
If they,
Happens sometimes.
if they want crack and cheese, they gotta do it in the next clam game, not right now. They gotta stick back to their 52 whale.
They have to wait like 4 more games.
I mean, yeah. But all right, we're gonna run out of things to talk about soon if they don't get on with it.
Yeah, like it shouldn't be like if we are staying the first game, it shouldn't take that long.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
yeah,
we're getting back into it, yeah.
Are we gonna get back to it finally? Or we're gonna start
Hopefully.
the first
Praying.
round? We've been waiting here for almost 30 minutes now. Oh no, not 30. 20. No, actually, yeah, 20 minutes now. Yeah.
Yeah, so like now we're seeing the original comps coming out on both teams. As we
There we
as we were
go.
mentioning earlier. Hopefully, no DC happens in the first 30 seconds. Anyways, we do see
Praying.
both teams rolling out. The Kraken roller on the left side is going to try to like place beacons on that top, and we also see the shot on the left side. Both teams are taking like pretty much the same rollouts as they did before. The T-Tech does go down early,
Nice.
2 down early on the side of Galaxy Comets before 2 go down on the side of Seasick.
Oh,
And right
wow.
now, with 3 down on the side of Galaxy Comets, that roller is just going to be going in and is able to pop Kraken to try to force things further.
Oh no, 30 seconds into the clock, Galaxy Comets zap went down before they could get their cooler down, so right now Zizek still has the major advantage of holding their plat, but also they Krakened with like only 4 clams to their name, so the whole clam economy now has shifted and still need to be built up from the side of Seasick, but unfortunately the shot went down. They have exactly 8 clams to build a power clam for this push, but I don't think they're ready for it. Now I don't, oh no, and then now Galaxy
it
Comet
happened again.
has a DC. I don't know how this goes now. Oh no, the lag is going down.
It's exploding. It's exploding.
You know, I really gotta stop talking sometimes. Maybe it really is just me. Maybe it really is just me this time around. But are they gonna keep playing it out? Because this time it's Galaxy Comet's side. Is it? Oh wait, no, yeah. Oh no, they have to play it out.
No, even
They
if
have
it
to play
wasn't in the
out.
window, that was their 1 DC, and I believe Galaxy Comets DC'd the last game. Either way,
Yeah.
we do have both teams just playing out the set, and this basket is taking forever to close. Okay, there we go.
Yeah, there it is. I mean, the lag is just gonna do some things to the game, but for now, let's just and then
and the host
respect
DC.
DC as well. Hey, this is awesome.
This is the set of all time, guys.
This really is. Hopefully they can play it out, but also, what is going on to Galaxy Comet's Wi-Fi signal?
I don't know. I want to say it's a Nintendo moment, but it happened twice in a
This
row. so I
isn't
don't
even
know
a
how to feel.
Nintendo
Yeah.
moment. No, it might just be someone's provider moment.
Yeah. Well then.
It's a GG. It really is a GG. Alright. Well, that most likely, if it's by rule, I think Seasick does take game.
Yeah, I
one.
would assume Seasick does take this first game. If you're a Galaxy Comets, that has to be heartbreaking for you.
Where is the Ludi rules form? I'm just gonna be a nosy person and gonna go look into the rules right now because I have to download this. Say. Ludi season rules 14. Alright, let's go look at
I will look up the rules myself on my computer, so next time I'm too lazy to go on my phone. Yay.
Match protocol. That's not that one. Lag rules are no longer in effect as well. That's one of them. But what about DC rules?
Yeah,
Each team is allowed a single disconnection replay during a set as long as it abides the following rules. Disconnect happened before first half. 70 points down to 30 remaining, and the disconnect player must stop immediately to a reasonable degree. If a team is perfectly disconnecting, the advantage, nope. That is a staff decision, but multiple players simultaneously, well, no consequences, a new host. Well, if most likely now, they're gonna set up a new host, and I'm not sure if it will directly give into the game for Seasick, I'm not sure.
I
doesn't
have
mention.
I have no idea. We will have to see if they're going to play out their first game or not.
Are they gonna reset host? Do we have any information on that, girl boss?
Yeah, I do believe that they are changing hosts. Yeah.
Alright,
Yeah, they
cool.
should be changing those. They should get on. soon.
Alright, now, while we wait for that, oh boy.
You know what? I'm gonna do something I've never done on a stream before. Let's look at Twitch chat. Hey, Twitch chat, what have you guys got to say
Yo,
today?
Twitch, what's good?
Hey, what's up?
True Lala, you should not
The
talk sometimes.
router
I
is
will
the
not take
comment.
that
No, I mean I agree. Yeah, the router is on the comet, and the comet did crash into the galaxy. Yep. Wow.
That's that spectrum right there. That's all I'm gonna say.
That's the spectrum right there. It's insane.
You know what? Here, let's have Girl Boss, our streamer
What?
today, to have some words to chime in right now while we're waiting.
Oh, I don't know what to say. You're putting me on the
Hello.
spot. I'm just waiting for the room.
Okay. Useless banter now. What's y'all's favorite color? Mine's green.
Purple. Oh yes.
Purple. Purple is so good.
I do agree that purple is a really good color. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
100%.
I have to have a specific like bluish hue for it. I don't know. That's my call. That's my take on it.
Yeah.
Grr. Oh my goodness. I know, Girl Boss, can I ask you something? Do you play Bamboozler?
I do play Bamboo.
How do you think about Bamboozler currently in the meta?
Underexplored, I would think.
Hmm?
Underexplored, and it definitely performs well in the Zuko meta, I would think, as mobility.
Nah, I see.
Yeah.
And Will got that buff. It's really
needed.
good.
Do you think the Will buff helped it solidify his place even
Oh,
more?
yeah.
Because I personally
Oh, yeah.
think, you know.
It goes for Ink Brush, like any Will weapon, really.
Yep.
Except for the Sploosh.
Except for the sploosh.
Except for this, which is crazy.
Except
I mean, Sploosh Neo is kind of silly. I'm not gonna lie. It just kind of like runs around like a little fly. It's a little
Wait,
funny.
but you can't count out. You cannot zone out the Jeff Sploosh from Enrage. You can't forget about that.
Oh yeah, you cannot.
Yeah.
You can't do that. Yeah.
You can't. So Sploosh is a viable option, as proven by DivX. So it must
Yeah,
be good.
This single dedicated player in DivX, it must be top tier, I guess.
It must be.
It must be.
Oh my goodness.
Sploosh strong?
Yo, Sploosh better? Honestly?
Sploosh Meta one.
Honestly?
Forget
I mean,
about double.
look.
Forget
Give
about
it-
double.
give it a
forget about
spot, wow.
double Zuko. Where's double Sploosh?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean, I
I want
lost
my
the
spot
Sendu
bomb.
Q set 3-4 against a Sploosh one trick too. So like, I got
Wow.
nothing to say. Sploosh is top tier, bro.
Sploosh can low key be annoying sometimes. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah. Oh goodness gracious. Oh goodness gracious. Alright.
You're waiting,
Have
I'm
you
like,
ever
go
had
for it.
so many DCs in the past before like this? Ever in like any scrim, any tournament you casted, or any tournament you've played? Have you ever had so much DCs like this?
There was a point in time last summer with my team where one of my members would just constantly DC because their Wi-Fi was a little questionable. They got it fixed though, so it's all good. But like before, it was pretty bad.
That's awesome. I remember.
We had somebody that
my
always
first-
DC'd on Hammerhead Bridge flat zones. Or just Hammerhead Bridge in
crazy.
general. The game would just black out. It was hilarious. But also it was
Hammerhead
very
Bridge.
it was very inconvenient for the one Links that we had to forfeit because of it.
All right. That's
Hey,
a
I
lot.
don't blame them because like Hammerhead. I don't blame
Yeah,
them.
I mean it is Hammerhead. Hammer.
If I was forced to play Hammerhead, I'll do the same exact thing.
Speaking of like Hammerhead and like the maps, I see the vision with the Maki rework, but it's not there, you know? You hate to see it.
It's not the Hammerhead we envisioned. Have you guys seen the Hammerhead in the art book? Like holy
I
crap.
believe I have everything in the, like whatever's in the art book
It
and
still looks
whatever's in the
same to
actual
me.
game it's really just expectation versus reality at this point.
Is it the expectation versus reality? The meme.
Yeah, I
is
really
real.
wonder like who really got to playtest the game.
Mhm.
Like
Because
it's like it's
If they
really
were like little babies, they would have asked to
Oh
release
my
those
God.
maps.
Yeah.
It's low key like pre-launch Eeltil. You know pre-launch Eeltil?
Oh yeah, no,
yeah.
Alpha Eeltail was so amazing actually.
Yeah, what happened?
You look at that, it's so chunky. Mid is so chunky. Why is it so like quarter of the size now? And you got a wall up there too.
I swear, I walked in mid in Yotel and I feel claustrophobic.
Yeah.
No joke.
You don't have to tell me twice about it, especially when I'm staring it through a scope of a charger.
Yeah.
Holy crap. No, but like, yeah. Oh, I miss the pre-test global test fire the Splatfest thing. Actually, I don't. The tricolor one on Sturgeon Shipyard was so horrendous.
They reworked it and they became a little better.
Yeah, they made it better, but like the first one was so bad.
I remember all the complaints going out for Tricolor saying that it was rigged against Scissors, I think.
Yeah, it was defender-sided, very defender-sided.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
The attacker meta was like so undeveloped. Like you had to just run bubble to get signal.
Oh no, yeah.
You don't have
definitely.
the cooler strats like we do now.
Oh yeah, cause Kraken wasn't a thing, and there wasn't much of a hammer option except for Viper that you could play back then.
Also, Hammer was kind of not dysfunctional.
Wait, hammer was not the wait.
It was even more dysfunctional than it was now.
Oh wow! Oh wait, no, you're right. It doesn't have the turning buffs. It doesn't even have the frame buffs. It doesn't even have. Oh yeah, you're right.
It didn't even have a hitbox.
you have to kiss your opponent just to kill them.
And it will still miss.
Talk about what you call it.
But like
Continuity, am I right?
Alright, so we're gonna move on to game 2, which is Spazum's Umami Room.
we're moving on finally. Anyways.
Yes, Crap
So,
like
like-
Capital, goodbye. We don't get to see you for a while. Bye bye.
Yeah. Anyways, back into like the serious commentator stuff, right?
Yep.
Umami Ruins is a weird map. It's like pretty difficult in order to just like push back in, considering the fact that you don't really like unlike Crab, like you don't really have any options to leave your spawn. You only really have like two options to leave your spawn. One of which is like the more direct route, which has a lot of traffic going into it, and the other one is a really risky drop that just puts you in the middle of everything.
Oh no, yeah, definitely. I mean, Umami Ruins, right? My main game for playing Umami, my main game plan for doing it on Umami Ruins is just when going through mid, you have to be really careful because on one hand, you can push all on one side together, but on the other hand, if the other team does the same thing, then you gotta find that right balance of having pressure on both sides while not being flanked, you know?
Yeah, I know what you mean. I feel like both of these teams really wants to play for a knockout here, because like once you get the opponent's snipe, it's going to be extremely easy in order to snowball your advantage. And as we're looking at the comps, we are seeing the Explo on the side of Galaxy Comets, and CSEC is going to stick the same comp that they did from whatever last game was, but we want to talk about that.
And there's
here we go
another
again.
disconnect, and this is not gonna reset, I believe. They're just gonna have to play it out. Galaxy Comets, oh my goodness!
So it's all imploding.
It seems like C6 trying to be the good guy here.
Yeah,
I appreciate it.
Seasick.
Yeah.
Now I'm definitely feeling seasick. Oh god.
Real.
Oh,
This
God.
is a
We're
little
gonna have-
much.
We're gonna have more than 20 seconds of commentary.
Yeah, we get to
Please.
talk
Eh,
even more.
I mean, at this point, might as well refund the points on Twitch as well.
Honestly,
Right.
give him back.
It's
wish
rigged.
I wish I knew how to like.
For the people who voted all their points for Galaxy Comets, I apologize. I'm so sorry.
This
Because-
is the great set.
Game 2 will go to CSEC for another DC. I'm joking. Oh my goodness gracious. Yeah, what can we talk about now? We're still waiting once again if they switch hosts for the second time and it still doesn't work.
I am running out of stuff to talk about. I'm gonna be completely honest.
I am very honest too. Can we talk about... Oh, let's talk about something. Here. Let's talk about actually something exciting. Tomorrow. Do you guys know what's happening tomorrow?
Oh, 20XX now?
Oh yeah, 20
Yeah, 20XX. Yeah, let's go talk about that real quick while we're here. We're gonna turn this into a Looney Tonight podcast, everyone.
The podcast is
Oh
real
my
with the.
God.
All right,
with the
so
occasional
we're
games.
gonna cut the stream short here, everybody. Sorry about all this.
Aw.
So where can the good people find you guys? Plug your Twitters and whatnot.
You can find me on Twitter at the name is Virus, as well as on YouTube and Twitch at. Oh no, I messed up. Sorry. You can find me on Twitter at iVirus. That's IVIRZ. You can also find me on YouTube and Twitch on the name is Virus. So yeah. So Lala, where can they find you?
Hey, you can find me too on X Twitter, whatever that site is now called. You can find me there with the handle of Lilo Russ Scope. You can also find me on Blue Sky and YouTube. I sometimes stream, I guess, under the handle Lilo Russ as well. So yeah, definitely will be visiting you guys.
And then I can be found at real_girlboss on like pretty much every platform.
Real.
Yeah, because
So
the
real.
original one was taken, and plus I'm the only girl.
Alright.
Unfortunate.
Well, see you guys.
Yeah.
This was Ludi tonight.
Yeah.
I'm trying to set up a raid right now, but yeah, thank you guys for coming out, and catch y'all for another week of next Ludi season.